Okay, they can hear us.
Don't milk the cow. Okay.
Don't milk the cow.
Not milking the cow?
I gotta mute your channel. It's freaking me out.
Oh, it's been a minute.
Okay.
At least 2.
Hi,
It's been
everybody.
at least, you're right, Goon. It's been at least a minute since we've done this.
No,
Well,
that
yeah.
Steve-O,
So
right?
Steve-O,
That
I
was
said
Steve-O.
2 minutes. I saw his 1 minute and doubled his Annie.
Who's Annie?
Were you literally flexing the guidebooks?
What was that?
Were you literally flexing the D&D players manuals?
I was.
Nice.
Sorry,
Cool flex.
I got super overwhelmed because I did not mute Locke's stream. So I was hearing all of you. I was hearing this whirlwind of voices. I was like, oh god, this is not great for me.
This is my nightmare.
Yeah.
It's super okay.
Oh man. So sorry we're late. Tech things.
Lots
As
of tech
always.
things.
Yeah.
But we got started before 8, which is better than we've done before. Like we
This is
started
true.
much later than that in the past.
This is very true.
If it ain't a tech thing, it ain't a SAS stream.
Oh, that's good. That's our next. That's a merch.
That's a
Next
merch.
That's a merch.
That's a merch.
That's a merch.
That's a merch.
Oh, I get to roll. I get to roll.
Roll them dice.
Fuck yeah.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah, how's
We're
everybody?
good. How are you?
I'm so
I
good.
rolled a 6 and a 9, so my dice are looking pretty nice.
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 Oh, that makes me so happy.
We were next to each other upside down. It was like 6 and 6. That's no.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
much better.
Good thing you didn't roll. Good thing you didn't roll 3 of those.
Yeah.
Could have rolled 2 more 6s and 9s though.
When something was
That's just a party.
It is.
Oh man. Oh man.
Okay.
Never mind.
So, while everybody gets nice and set up, welcome to session 10 of the Secret Adventures Society. We've done 10 of these. We've done 10 of these. It's weird.
Double digits.
Like, well, I mean 12 if you count the 2 charity streams.
Oh,
That's true.
Which, yeah.
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 That's true.
Or, I mean, those were 8 hours each. So technically, I mean, if you're talking hour by hour content, it might be even like 14. You know? Who knows?
Sure.
That's not what we're here to talk about. First off,
for like 8.
I'm confused
Yeah.
already.
what are you confused about, Locke?
You just confused me with the math.
I don't want to do math right now. I want to wait and let the rocks do that.
Yeah, I was about
So
to say
anyway,
we're all D&D
thank
is
you.
math.
Thank
Just
you for
saying.
joining us on session 10. Thanks as always to our lovely, wonderful, super terrific mods. If you have a question about the campaign or any of the players, the mods are there for you to point you in the right direction and inform you and give you the right command and all that fun stuff. Thanks, excuse me. Thanks to all of you who have been listening and watching and tweeting and telling your friendos about the show. It seems like every week we're getting a little bit more traction, which is super exciting.
Yep.
It's both weird and rad. So don't forget that you can tweet using the hashtag Secret Adventure, and we might actually name an NPC or a trading card game after you. People,
That's fair. We did do that.
Your trading card game. Yeah.
yeah, people like Softaco or Simi or Captain Riddick or Rat's House, and several others.
We're eel.
Or eel.
Or like I said, eel. There are some of you who have actually been named already after characters that have yet to appear, and even more.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's retention. That you keep watching. The story might not be like. Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah. And there's obviously even more that we'll encounter later. Of course, our character art was commissioned by the wonderful, fantastic Aurelia Reff. If you want to see some of her custom artwork or commission her to do maybe even your D&D characters, hit the command !character art in chat, and that'll give you a link. If you miss a session or just want to rewatch or listen, you can find every episode of the Secret Adventure Society on YouTube at the Secret Adventure Society, as well as on your favorite podcast service. Session videos go live on YouTube every Friday morning, and podcasts, or not every Friday morning after a session, and podcasts go live every single Monday when I remember. This week it was Tuesday. Thanks as always to Blizzard Entertainment for letting us use music from World of Warcraft that you hear, which I just realized that we're going to have new WoW music soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is exciting.
We could go ahead and have it, but I kind of want to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Roundtable Pitch Fest. Goon. Tell us about your shit.
I was not expecting to go first. I have a Kofi. Follow me on Goon the Bard and you'll be able to keep up with all that. I've been really bad about keeping up with this week because I've spent most of this week crying. Because we're at 90% on our hashtag Help Harley, and that's thanks to a big ass majority from you guys there. 90% in less than 2 weeks. Literally, it was like the first week and a half that we got to like 90%. And so even though the surgery it's not surgery, I keep calling it surgery, treatment isn't for another 2 weeks, I'm fully confident that we will get to 100%. And it's just been nice people because nobody wanted to do nobody wanted writing. They just did it. But if you do want writing, I also, I sent out a mass email and I was like, hey, a lot of people responded, but like, I also do services for this money. And they were just like, nah, fam, help your dog. And I've cried about it already, so I won't tonight.
You can cry about it tonight if you want to.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I look too good on camera crying. And you guys will just have to. I got one of those like Leonardo DiCaprio cries, where I just look more attractive. Is it him? Somebody looks more attractive when they cry. I don't. I look like a big slobbery mess. Actually,
I bet Toby Maguire will cry.
It's Toby Maguire.
Yeah. over Uncle Ben.
My hair does the same thing. All right. I do provide services, and it's on my Ko-fi. I do writing, and I do map making, and I do Hero Forge building, and I do character sheet building. You guys can go check that out. Donate if you like. Commission if you can. Switch those. Actually, commission if you like. Donate if you can. I don't know. Love you guys. I think I said thank you. If I didn't say thank you, I meant thank you.
I feel like you did for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're good.
Rothmar, I love you. Your turn.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I'm Rothmar. I play a lot of World of Warcraft over on twitch.tv/Rothmar, and I write blog content over on Rothmar.com. I don't know. If there's anything you want me to write about, hit me up. I like writing about dumb shit. So
That's
Would
how
you do a
it,
blog about blogs?
I did already. I think that's one of my first posts about how people need websites.
Steve-O just got so excited about Blogception.
I posted it, I think, like a month before Mixer shut down. Warning: if Mixer shuts down, where will you live? So I have your own.
Oh,
website.
shit.
And it shut down. And I was like, see,
He was right. Steve-O.
Twitch it.
Hi guys, my name is Steve-O. You can find me at twitch.tv/gutternerds and everywhere else on social media as Gutternerds. It is Resident Evil month, and so we're playing all Resident Evil games. My wife and I are playing through Resident Evil 5. I'll be playing through Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica, and my birthday stream is this weekend, time TBD, so feel free to follow at the Gutternerds Twitch channel.
What day is your birthday, Steve-O?
Birthday is on Sunday.
Okay.
On Sunday proper.
I was like walking around the house, I think yesterday, and I froze in my tracks, and I was like, did I forget Steve-O's birthday? So because I knew it was in October, I just didn't know when. So
you should not have told me that I have stopped Zach in his tracks power.
Oh, that's not the only time you've stopped me in my tracks, my friend.
You totally do.
Yes. Oh man.
Huh?
Go.
Oh. Hi, I'm Jen and Eric. I'm Eric Smart, Jen. We stream on twitch.tv/generic live. I also do a bunch of art. If you need any kind of art, just go to genericlive.com. I make wizard wands. I do drawings and emotes and all kinds of crap. I just designed a shirt that was Khadgar. I call him Kidgar. He's a little tiny version of Khadgar, and he's dragging a Dalaran behind him because he takes that fucking city everywhere. So yeah, you should get it on a shirt and everything. So yeah.
I love that shirt so much. It makes me so happy.
It's good. It's real good.
Lock.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Hi, I'm Locke. This is if I'm Locke.
Okay. 10 out of 10 pitch.
Thank you.
I mean, they're already here, so that's a fair point. I am ZakiWack, and you can find me streaming sometimes at twitch.tv/ZakiWack. I make jokes and stuff. Y'all want
He
to
does.
play
I've
D&D?
seen it.
Wait.
Yes.
Oracle had a
I'm
question.
good. I'm good. No.
No D&D? Okay.
Oracle had a question in chat about Pierce's decisions.
Oh.
Oh, what's the question? I'm going to look.
Whether or not they were
what's been decided about Pierce done last session. We'll probably get to a little bit of that in a minute, Oracle. Yeah, because we're like, there's going to be a little bit we have to retcon because Steve-O was not there, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Fret you not. But anyway.
Probably not a lot. Like, Zach, you've got him down.
Okay. Well, I mean, there was a little bit of decisions that are upcoming. So there's stuff. Anyway, let's play some fucking games. Previously on the Secret Adventurers Society, after agreeing to work with wealthy brewmaster Zephy Alemason, our adventurers found themselves on the high sea en route to a town called New Hexton, where they were to investigate mysterious goings-on that Zephy believed might be vampiric in nature. While crossing the Sea of Swords aboard a cargo ship called the Salty Mule, you were weathering a storm when a much smaller ship crashed into you. Upon further investigation, you actually determined that the crew was missing, but found a cargo hold full of coffins and grave dirt, belonging to undead creatures that you eventually had to fight. After the battle, Dorf found a mysterious vial of this inky black liquid inside one of the coffins, and then he spent the remainder of the voyage largely secluded from the rest of the group. Upon docking in Waterdeep, and before finishing your journey to New Hexton on land, you all spent a few precious hours of retail bliss discovering new books and becoming reward club members and learning about a new trading card sensation that's sweeping the continent, purchasing knickknacks and soaking in a team-building bubble bath at Rout's House, Bathhouse of Retro. On your way to find lodging for your evening in Waterdeep, you happen upon a woman named Lathai Arringham, whose son Tiberius had gone missing. You spoke to her for a moment and learned that she was actually from New Hexton and had made her way into the city to look for her son. As you examined the crude sketch on the flyers that she was handing out, you were able to determine that her son was in fact one of the undead creatures that you fought while on the high sea.
Nice ghost.
Nice ghost. Rip nice ghost.
That's weird.
You decided to treat yourself to nicer lodging than you're used to at the Vivian, one of the more luxury hotels on this side of Waterdeep. You paid for 3 rooms, which came with complimentary evening meals, and then made your way upstairs to apparently learn the rules of Eel. Before we get started, I actually need Pierce to make 3 wisdom saving throws. We're going to have to retcon just a little bit because he was not here.
All right. So, wisdom saving throw. So I'm going to it's my general wisdom modifier that I add to whatever I roll. No,
it's your you have a saving throw modifier for you.
Oh, I see it. I see the modifier.
Yeah.
Yep.
For you, that's +2.
Yep. Okay. First one is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Second one, 16.
Second one is what?
16. Sweet
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Okay. And finally is a dirty 20 again.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Pierce, you nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. You feel an uneasy presence, but you're mostly just bored for the remainder of your journey.
Was that on the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So on the ship, he felt an uneasy presence.
yes.
Got it.
So, with that is where we're going to pick up this week. You are all in your respective rooms, lush carpeting, golden candelabras for light. There's a spread of pillows on each bed. Some are soft and some are firm. At the bedside, there are these neatly wrapped chocolates. There's a desk with a complimentary scroll and quill and inkwells. There are robes, 2 robes per room, hanging on the back of each door, like soft white robes. You notice that this hotel actually has running water. Each room comes with an adjacent bathroom. Out the window, you can see the ocean, and this is from each of your rooms. You have an ocean view room. You're further in the city, but you can still see the edge of the land and the coastline and out to sea. You can actually see the masts of the ship that are docked in the harbor. You can smell food cooking down the hall. And after the smells aboard the Salty Mule, these are almost foreign in how delicious they smell. You can only imagine what flavors are going to come with these smells that are sneaking under your doors. It's about 5:30 in the evening, and you were told your meals would be delivered at 6. With that, the evening is yours. What are you all doing?
I guess this.
What's the room set up like? Like who's in what room?
That is for you all to decide. There were things said, but
I feel like
now that
I feel like we had decided. I don't.
I thought it was the ladies, the gentlemen, and the reptiles.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's basically what it always is.
I mean, I'm not
I
a
think that's right.
Wow.
That's a good way.
I'm
of
not a
putting it.
gentleman.
Yeah, that's fair. The ladies, the penis havers, and well,
There you go.
no, hold on.
I don't know. You guys.
Yeah, the ladies, soft skins and reptiles. Well, the ladies have soft skins.
okay, you know what? Let's stop. That's enough of that. We're gonna move the fuck on from whatever that was. What?
Magical reptiles and other.
God almighty.
And other.
What?
Okay.
So what are you all doing?
I'm
Sending me to.
Gus, do you think they have cave cricket?
Cave cricket.
Yeah,
Like,
that's my favorite meal.
is it a meal?
Well, like you don't just eat one cave cricket. You know, you have to have a smorgasbord.
Oh, right.
cave
But we discovered this game Eel, and I was like,
Oh,
it's cave cricket, like another card game that we can get ourselves.
can you eat eels?
Yeah, you can eat eels.
Okay.
You cannot eat these particular eels.
I mean, you could. Don't challenge them.
Well, I just smell food. It doesn't smell like cave cricket.
But, I mean, they might not be making it. Maybe it's
I thought this was a nice establishment.
specialty made to order kind of thing.
Okay.
I wonder, was there a room service card in our room?
There's a card that just says it's placed underneath a bell. It's a silver bell, like so, and it just says ring if service is required.
That makes Augustus nervous. Like he doesn't want to ring it. Like,
Wow, Eric.
Dorf is getting prepared for battle. Roll initiative, Dorf.
I haven't worn these in a while. I was like, oh, I remember these. Dorf is sleeping.
at 6.
He's
Yeah.
exhausted. He
Yeah,
has
yeah,
2
yeah,
points
yeah.
of exhaustion.
Sorry, that makes sense.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Does Dorf have like a bag nearby? Like is his like stuff about in the room?
Probably.
Okay. Pierce wants to quietly rifle through his stuff to see if there is anything that is alarming about his character.
Is it a bag of holding, Dorf?
Yes.
Okay. So Pierce, you find you see Dorf's bag lying there, and you reach inside, and it feels bigger than you thought that it would, but you don't really. It's entirely empty.
Huh. Well, that's alarming.
Probably at about this time I knock on Pierce's door and Dorf's door while he's going through
While
stuff.
Pierce is just elbow deep in this bag.
Fuck.
Do I need to roll to see if I wake up?
With your passive
I mean, I have exhaustion too, so I might probably wouldn't, but
with your passive perception and the fact that you have points of exhaustion, I don't think you would wake up.
okay.
I'll walk over and open the door. What?
Hey. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Wait, are you helping me tonight?
Yeah, I'm helping you, but it's gonna cost you 5 gold.
That's fine. I also got you a present.
Is the present 5 gold?
No, but I can give you 5 gold as well. I mean, that's fine too, but.
All right, hold on. I don't want to wake up Beardy, so I'm gonna step outside into the hall and shut the door.
Okay. And
do you want?
I go through my bag and I pull out a deck of cards, of normal cards. And I'm like, here, I thought you seem like you might like gambling. And just that sort of, here. And I give you the cards.
Pierce puts it in his duster pocket. He does not say thank you. He goes, okay. What are we doing?
Well, we have to wait till everybody goes to sleep. So, and then
Guy's not waking up.
Right. Well, we need to wait until the city is asleep, if you know what I mean.
So we don't need to go put them to sleep.
No. No, we just need to wait in a couple hours.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go have a drink. Just find me at the bar in 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Wait, in 2 hours it'll be
5
8 o'clock,
gold.
right? Well, I toss him 5 gold. There. It's fine.
Okay, I'm hired.
Yeah.
Pierce walks towards the food bar area where there may be concessions at this establishment.
Pierce, you would know that food is being delivered to your rooms, but there is you definitely had to pass before you came upstairs. You definitely did have to pass by a bar, a pretty nicely stocked looking bar. So
Okay, I'll just have a seat there.
okay. We'll come back to you in just a second. What are the rest of you doing?
Also have to find Q.
Okay.
Q is being extremely annoying to Augustus in whatever way possible.
Companion.
I assume that him being a wizard, he has just a ton of stuff on his strapped on his shoulder, and he's just like, what's that? What's that do?
Well, this here, this is actually the deed to my old apartment. I could probably get rid of it. Rip it up. Let's see, what else do we have here? And I hold up a blue vial. What was this? I'm gonna take a sniff of it, and I don't actually know what's in this vial. What would that be? Should I make a roll for that, Mr. DM?
That's not necessarily a roll. I would say, are you talking about just the vial that's on your character portrait?
Yeah, there's just I've got vials and scrolls, and I know where most of them are, but I'm trying to keep Q entertained. So-
That is probably a healing potion. You probably still have some. Yeah, that's a healing potion for sure.
Oh, all right. Yeah, this one's you might remember this one. We got this one for saving those people a couple of days ago, month ago. Time is an illusion. I don't know.
And Q just pulls out his paddle ball and just starts paddling.
I got one of these.
What?
As he seems distracted, I'm gonna start like taking notes in my wizard book. And, like, it seems like one of those things where like Augustus would probably be, like talking to Q when Q needs engaged, but then as soon as like Q is engaged in something else like paddleball, he's probably like trying to get back to whatever the fuck he was doing.
Okay.
If I see him taking notes, though, in a minute, I will say that I pull out a candle that I have because I know that I don't read, but people need light to read, and it's probably well lit in here, but I still try to be nice, and I pull out a candle, which is actually just a severed hand that's been dipped in wax, and I light it on fire. That was the random item that I started with, and I go back paddling with my ball.
Thank you, Q.
Okay. God. Jindy, did you have anything that you were doing?
Jindy would be in her room, probably like checking out all of the like super like nice stuff.
Okay.
Like eyeing the robe, but not really feeling comfortable with like putting it on.
Okay.
She probably is sitting near the window. If the window opens, the window is open, looking at the ocean, and writing in her new pillage, plunder, love journal that she has.
Yeah, definitely. The doors open like so. They shove open outward, and you can smell the sea breeze and the salt, and it's lovely.
Yep.
Okay, so about that time, you guys hear trolley wheels down the hall, and food is brought out. And Pierce, your food is actually brought to you at the bar. They recognize you there, and food is actually brought in, and it's on these enormous carts with silver platters. When the servers lift the covers, there are these enormous slabs and these are all in your individual rooms. There's these enormous slabs of steak with like exotic seasonings that the smells just fill the room. There's also lobster, the fluffiest rice you've ever seen. There's roasted root vegetables, trays of cheeses and fruit, a dessert of dark chocolate truffles and key lime tarts, and a vanilla sorbet that's actually garnished with flowers and a cinnamon stick. And then when all of this is unloaded just on the tables in your room, and Pierce, for you at the bar, another server files in behind with 2 bottles. Pierce, for you, just 1 bottle of red wine and glasses.
Gus, that is the biggest fucking cave cricket I have ever seen.
It smells mighty fine too, doesn't it?
Oh my god, where did they get this cave? What cave was this in?
Do you think it's one cave cricket, or did they like cook 10 of them and then like?
Well, it's a giant. Well, no, it's like he's pointing at the lobster. So it's just I've just never seen one this big. And he just goes, I have yours.
It's. I think. I mean, if I have any leftovers, you can have it. But I did order this.
That's fine. He just chows down.
Okay. You said there's rice and vegetables. What else besides the lobster?
Steak.
Steak.
And rice and cheese and fruit and desserts.
Okay. I eat everything. Well, I eat the dessert first, and then eat everything besides the steak and the lobster. And whenever I'm done eating, I go knock on Q and Augustus's door.
Did you leave the lobster and steak in our room?
Nope, I took it.
When Q hears the door open or knocking, he's just gonna like keep over his food. Like he's really upset.
Precious.
It's the same thing my dog does.
Oh, come on in.
Okay, I pop my head in, and I'm like, Q, Will you come talk to me for like just like a second? I have a food present for you.
Okay, he bolts out the door.
Okay.
I imagine you're still holding like a headless lobster, just like sucking on it, right?
Oh yeah. Well, yes. Whatever's he's like licking the carapace, like he's got like the claw hanging out of his mouth. It's all over his federal booty inspector hat. You don't know how he got there. Yeah.
Okay. I make sure the door's shut, and then I'm like, okay. Remember we were gonna go take care of some things later. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you my lobster and my steak as payment if you'll help me. You want mine? Yeah.
Yes, please. You know how a dog doesn't take his eye off a treat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to picture that right now.
Q is just like leaping up in the air and his feet are dangling.
Like, slimy whammies. Yeah.
And I'm just
slimy
huh? I'm like, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Like, okay. Now, hang on. We just have to be very, very quiet when we leave, okay?
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Don't tell anybody.
Shh.
Not even your companion.
I mean, I think she hears everything.
No. What?
What? Oh, you mean it's our Augustus?
Yeah. Don't tell him. Who else do you talk to?
My mom. She's been here the whole time.
Oh. Okay, your mom can know. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect.
I give him the lobster and the steak.
And he just goes back to devouring it right there in the hallway.
I
just
walk away.
like hunched up against the wall.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, up
Pierce.
against the door.
Pierce, where you are at the bar, a barkeep comes out and he like looks at the spread and he kind of nods. He's like, "So you need anything else? You all set?"
No, I don't need any fucking thing else. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'm here if you need me. Okay.
Nod.
And
Go back to just eating everything.
okay. And with that, you eat and it's delicious. You guys are like, especially after being on the sea, where basically all you had were like salt and horseradish potatoes, with seawater. It is absolutely divine. You finish up. By now it's probably about 7 o'clock. You're full and happy. And it's mid-evening at this point.
The window of the room I'm in faces the water. Does it face the front of the establishment?
No, it faces like this side.
Okay.
Yeah, I go back to my room and hang out with
Okay.
Jindy.
Okay.
Jindy is ignoring her at this point.
Okay. Dorf, why don't I go ahead and get you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please? And again, this is straight roll with your wisdom save, not a disadvantage.
$16.
Okay. Yeah, you sleep like a rock.
Cool.
Sleep like a rock.
Like a rock.
Okay. If none of the rest of you have anything to be solid as a rock, if none of the rest of you have anything you'd like to be doing, yeah, you eat your food and settle in. It's like late evening. Pierce, you have a few drinks, I imagine, and then it's that brings us to around midnight or so. It's really, really quiet. There's a few miscellaneous staff members walking around the hotel, sweeping or whatever, but there's not a lot going on. No one coming in or out.
Yeah, Augustus is just in his room studying eel.
By candlelight.
So yeah, if you're studying eel, I'm gonna go ahead and put something in the SAS Discord.
Sascord.
Sascord. So there's that for you. And actually, we'll talk about this a bit more later. But that is for any of you to look at. Cass, you had something you wanted to take care of this evening?
Oh yes, I'm waiting until it feels like every man is asleep.
Okay. Augustus, about what time would you say you go to sleep?
Oh, like 11 p.m. midnight or so.
11 p.m. Okay. So yeah, easily enough. It doesn't seem like anyone has anything pressing they'd like to attend to. It's probably about 1:30 in the morning, and you feel like everyone has conked out pretty well.
Okay. So I make my way
Downtown.
down to the bar.
Down to the bar.
So
If it's like 11 p.m. at this point, Pierce has sort of set up a solitaire style, some sort of single player card game that he's playing in front of him at the bar.
Nice. At some point, the barkeep just like rubbing a glass. He comes by, and he says, he points and he says, "You could put that there," and he suggests that you put a 4 of diamonds on top of a 3 of clubs. And it's absolutely not the right move, but he's just like he's not a very bright one, but he's kind of like, he nods like, "Yeah, I helped you," and then he goes away.
I'm gonna call after him. If you suggest something else, you lose your tip.
That's fair, I suppose.
I feel bad for the bartender that just wants to play cards.
All right, guys. So yeah, that is the scene you find, Cass. What are we doing?
Okay. I go up to Pierce. I look around for Q. Is Q anywhere?
Q is in his room. Did you tell him to meet you in the
Just
lobby?
us?
I told him. Did I not tell him to leave? Oh my gosh.
No, you said to be quiet.
No, you
when
just
you
said to be
leave.
quiet. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna.
Is it just us?
No, hang on. I'm gonna go upstairs, take a piece of paper, and
Okay. There was a scroll in your room. You're able to find that
Well, I
easily
have
enough, and just
I have a notebook.
okay. Yeah, cool.
And I just
So
like
the thing is, you see, each of the eels have their own HP, right? And so they don't fight individually; they fight together. It's not
The whole time.
Are you really awake at 1:30 a.m.?
It was like 11 o'clock still.
At this point, like she has waited until it's about because that's fucking hilarious. So we're gonna
That's
say
great.
that like she goes up there, she passes
first
by
time.
the room, and she's waiting, and like she passes by 3 or 4 times just hearing this. So these are the rules of it. So like this happens a few times, but eventually, if like you can say if you stay up all night, but at
No,
this
I
point
don't.
it's at this point it's about 1:30.
Okay. I take a piece of paper and I draw a fish on it with an arrow, and I slide it under the door because I don't know if he can read. and it's
Smart.
the arrow is pointing at the door.
I mean, if Q sees that, I mean, I don't know. His past perception's 10.
Make a perception check. Make a perception check.
Perfect. That's good. It's plus 0. So, okay, 15.
Yeah, you see it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna follow the fish.
Make a stealth check as you leave if you're trying to be sneaky.
Oh, cool. Whew.
Oh, no.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah, I rolled with 2.
Okay. Augustus, you hear him leave. Like you kind of, huh? You hear him walking out because your passive perception is higher than 6.
I don't think I would give a shit, honestly.
Okay.
Because like he eats rats and stuff. and we're in a big city, so I'm like,
He's going hunting.
I don't,
Okay.
no red flags for me.
Okay. So yeah, Q, when you come outside, not Pierce. Well, yeah, I guess Pierce and Kess are standing in the hall waiting on you.
Fish.
After we do this, we'll find some
Oh.
fish.
What are we doing? Sorry, he said fish.
Okay.
As we walk, I'm gonna turn to Q and like just side go, hey, next time get your payment up front.
Payment?
I paid him. I paid him in food.
Biggest fucking cricket I've ever eaten.
But also, I mean, we'll try to get him another fish for bonus payment if it goes well. If I'm not around to get you a fish, then
Where are you going?
fish. Well, come on, we gotta go. I want that bag.
Let's go.
What bag?
The bag.
You're being less quiet than you told me to be.
No, I'm trying to not be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Oh, good. I think the least suspicious thing you can do is whisper loudly.
Okay, well, let's whisper loudly. No, let's not. Okay, let's just
Theater
look,
whisper.
let's just go outside. Come on, let's just go. Okay.
You guys have there have been a couple of people who work at the who work in the hotel sort of look over and see you, but they don't really give a shit. You guys go outside and the lamps are still lit. You get the vibe that like lamps stay lit pretty much always during the night in Waterdeep.
Same, honestly.
There's a few people walking around, but by and large the streets are empty. And Cass, I'm not going to make you make a survival check. You would remember how to get back there.
Okay. Before we get over there, though, I'm gonna stop
Okay.
and I'm going to find a little. Wait, what just happened?
Dorf was incoming.
Oh,
He woke up in his dreams.
oh my gosh. I'm gonna find a area, like a good little area to grow a flower.
Okay. Yeah, you find a little patch of grass beside it, like a clump of weeds next to a building that's coming up next to some rock, the rock walkway.
Okay.
You find it and you're able to do your.
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say, hang on, just like chill out right here, and then I'll explain my plan. Okay? Just chill here.
This is 100% gonna try and stealthily see what she's up to.
Okay. Make a perception check, Pierce. Are you trying to sneak, Cass?
No.
Okay. If
It is.
I will say Q is gonna bug
14.
14.
shit out of Pierce as well. Just what's that? What's that? But he's whispering.
Okay. So yeah, Cass, would you like to tell Pierce what he sees?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over to the ground area, whatever, and I take some ash out of my vial and I sprinkle it on the ground. I do a little like hand symbol like in the ground, and I'm gonna say, haven't seen you in a while. I know you're still around. If this goes poorly, I could use some help. Yeah, okay. And then I just get up and go back to the group.
Make a religion check.
Pierce, what's that?
Ooh. That's good.
I don't know.
19.
19. Okay. You see a like as you stand up, you see a black dog standing. Catches your eye. You see a black dog standing between two buildings, and he kind of looks at you and then turns around and just saunters away.
I nod
Pretty sure
at
that
it.
means you're gonna dialogue.
That's fine. I give it a nod, kind of like a gracious bow.
Okay.
And go back to the group, and I'm like, okay. As we're walking, I'm gonna explain the plan.
Okay.
Okay. So, don't need you guys to go in, unless you hear that something has gone wrong. Okay. If something has gone wrong, I will try to make the loudest noise I possibly can. Okay.
That should be pretty easy for you.
Look.
And then we make a loud noise back at you
No.
in response.
No. Then you try to sneakily get in to help me. All of this, Q. We are being sneaky until tomorrow morning, and then you can be not as sneaky. Then.
Sneaky till the sun. Sneaky till the sun.
Okay.
Got it.
Wow.
Okay. And
Guess, what are we doing here?
well, I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna turn into a bug. It's no big deal. A very small bug.
Cricket?
No. Not a cricket. It's gonna be a spider. Q, I know you don't like spiders. You can turn away whenever I turn into it, so you don't see it, so you don't, see me turn into it. But it's kind of one of the. I need to turn into a spider.
It's fine. Spider's fine if it's you.
Okay.
And you're gonna go in there and kill someone?
No, Pierce. I'm gonna go steal things. I'm gonna go
Okay,
take things.
well- Like a lot of things? Like, do we need a wheelbarrow?
No. I'm gonna steal a bag, and then if I see anything else kind of cool, I'll put it in the bag. Is there anything you want me to look for?
Look around, and he's just gonna look around and he's gonna go, I wanna steal stuff.
Can you turn into a spider?
Shut up.
Look. Is there anything you might want me to keep an eye out from? See, I can grab the bag, and then once I have it, I can turn back into something, and it's like I can just take it with me. It gets small and disappears, and then I have it. Like it's.
So this store is one that we're returning to from
Yeah, this is.
from earlier today, right?
Yeah.
Is this Trolls a Million, or is this a
No.
different store?
No, this is the store with the magical items that we bought the fish from.
What was the name of the store?
The soft taco store.
Soft Taco. Got it.
What was the
Soft
name of the
taco
store, DM?
You didn't get a name of the store. It didn't really have a sign out front or anything, but you know that the proprietor was named Soph.
Well, it
So
had a name in the window. Remember, it was written on the window. Yeah, because you said I know it doesn't have
It
a
was
sign.
probably, I think it was Soft Taco.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was the.
Soft Taco.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I don't remember the name, but Soph Taco is his name.
yeah.
Pack
I think
stuff.
it was like Soph's
Soph's. Yeah,
something. Anyways, that's where I'm going. But you guys just need to chill in the alleyway. Are there alleyways behind it or anything to the side of it?
Yeah. There's an alleyway on each side of it.
Okay. Yeah. Is there one behind it?
No, on the back side of it is like an open street. It's not necessarily an alleyway.
So, okay, what if, just two random people standing in front of a store is gonna make that store look awkward?
Well, you can go stand in front of a
No,
different
of course
store.
not.
You can stand in front
Okay.
of a different store if you want. Just stay in the shadows.
I'm gonna
good at
skulk
that.
around in the alley. Why don't we have Q kids stand out front and eat on a rat, and no one's gonna look twice at that.
That's actually very good. Can you find a rat queue to munch on?
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. And then you don't
great.
have to see me
Pierce
turn
is
into
Pierce is gonna go walk. Yeah, Pierce is gonna go ahead and walk down the alley. He's gonna look for a window or somewhere where he can, if there is a window, to see if he can sort of keep an eye on the inside of the place from outside.
Q and Pierce each make investigation checks.
Yes, Q is looking for rats. and made a 12.
Okay. Yeah, it's not hard to find a rat in Waterdeep.
Hey, Zach.
You see one huge rat just scampering alongside a gutter. What'd you have, Steve-O?
Pierce is 21.
21. Okay, yeah, you find a few things. You find on each side of the building, you see a window. It's probably about 7 feet up, and it's probably about 3 feet wide. But it's not all the way to the ground. Like the bottom of it is about 7 feet up off the ground, and that's on either side. And then there is obviously a window on the front of the building as well.
On the side of the side of the building with the window, is that an alleyway there?
Yes.
Okay. How far apart are the two buildings? How wide is the alley?
It's pretty narrow. It's probably about 12 feet.
Okay. So Pierce is going to try to jump from wall jump basically up to the. If there's anything, is there anything to grab onto, a sill or something that he can be at the window? Yeah.
There's a windowsill on the bottom. The window is closed, but you can tell, like with that perception, you can tell that it slides. It doesn't open outward; it slides up. Okay. So you're not sure if it's locked or not, but you do know that it does slide. So if that's what you want to do, can I get you to make an acrobatics check, please?
Yes, I can. 18.
Wait, are you doing that right now? Are you like trying to climb up?
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna position. Yeah, jump up to the window and then crouch down to see if I can survey the inside while.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's like a ledge. So you like hop, and you like basically leap off of one side and just sort of like lunge over to the other, and you're able to easily enough grab the windowsill and just pull yourself up, and you're able to like sit there and look. You've got a pretty good view of the inside of the store.
Okay. Once he's up there, I'm gonna turn into a tiny spider.
Okay.
I don't have stat block for that, Zach, but it's on page 333 of the Monster Manual, or 44 of your DM book, I think. So I'll need you to tell me stats.
Okay. You said page 44 of the DMG?
Little bitty tiny spider. And I keep my intelligence scores, and I don't, as a druid, I keep my intelligence scores. And that's, I don't.
Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Yeah. And I lose my strength, dex, and con.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just gonna go to the closest door and look for ways to get in.
Okay. Yeah. Poof! You pop down into a spider form. The world seems to expand.
I'm as tiny as I mean, like the littlest spider ever. Little.
Yeah, almost like an ant, like a baby spider. It's a spider for ants.
Spider.
So you are so small actually that you have to be careful not to fall through the cracks of the boards on this porch. So yeah, easily enough, you crawl across the entryway, and there is a crack on the threshold small enough for you to squeeze through.
Go in.
Okay.
And what is my speed? 20?
Your speed is 20 feet.
Okay.
And your climb speed is also 20 feet.
Okay, good. I am going to look around, check and see if there's a back room, check and see if anybody is in this place before I do anything.
Okay, make an investigation check.
15?
15. Okay. You spend about 5 or 7 minutes crawling around, and you don't see anyone. You find a back room that's stocked with goods. You do notice with that investigation roll, you do notice that all of the shelves that you noticed earlier have this. It looks like a temporary cage over each of the shelving units that's padlocked. It seems to be put there as like a security measure. But you also see the bag of holding that you had your eye on earlier. It is inside a glass case.
Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna pop out my spider form.
Okay.
Okay. And then I cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
Okay. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light of your choice. So this is going to be green. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined if it fails a dex saving throw. So this is basically me checking to make sure nothing is invisible in here.
Okay. In like just a 20-foot cube inside the room?
Yeah, but I'm going to walk around. It stays with me.
Okay.
I think it
And
stays with me.
did you say you changed back into Kess form, or are you still in
Yeah,
spider form?
I'm Kess now.
You
When I
are
cast
Kess
it.
now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, as you walk around, you don't let's see. You don't, if you're looking for like invisible people who are hiding from you, you don't find anyone.
Any creature.
Yeah, you don't see any invisible creatures.
Okay. Then I'm gonna cast Find Traps.
Okay.
In the area. Well, really, I think I can cast it in the entire room. It's 120 feet. I just have to be able to see the location.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There are traps present. And again, find traps. It does not tell you the location of the traps, but you
Yes,
can
it
tell
does.
that there are. No, it does not.
You sense the presence of any trap in range.
You don't learn the location of each trap. Second paragraph.
I thought I got a ping.
You do get a ping. You know that there are multiple traps there, but you don't know exactly where they are. You know that they are not lethal, and you know that they are designed basically to more or less be nuisances. They're designed
Kind of like a Minesweeper. You get like the number, and you're like around. You're like, well, there's 3 around me.
Right. You can tell that there are multiple traps, and you are able to sense the general nature of how much danger they are. So they're not going to put you in danger, but you can tell that there are like security mechanisms in place.
Okay. Also,
He's investigating on the inside. Oh, good.
I should have asked you this before, Zach. I'm so sorry. With my background, do I have thieves' tools?
It would have. I don't think so. I think it would
Okay.
have said that you have them.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
You probably would know that Pierce does.
So while Pierce
far
is
away
outside
is-
on the,
How far away is that window?
Friggin' mosquito. That window, it's the case is right here, and then there's basically a row of crystal like balls and things like that underneath that window that he is standing beside.
Of course. Okay, I'm gonna try to
so
very
I'm gonna check the
carefully-
outside of the window for any just like visually investigate for like a tripwire or something. If I were to open that window, I'm gonna go
Okay.
off.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. And 15.
15. Yeah, you don't see anything. And you like if Kess coming over there, like Kess, you wouldn't have seen anything either in front of that window. But Pierce, you don't necessarily know that. But you don't see anything.
I'm gonna very
Okay.
carefully.
I'm gonna crack the window a little bit, and
Okay.
I'm gonna like lean
It's not
down
locked.
to it and go. Lean down and go. Do you want me to shoot the case? Yes. Yes.
No. Do you have anything?
I
that
can shoot.
Wait, no. I need to pick a lock.
It'd be faster to shoot the lock.
No. No, it would be a lot louder to shoot the lock too. Stealth mission. Stealth.
Okay. What do you want from me then?
Do you have anything to pick a lock with?
But I have something to pick a lock with.
Yeah, anything. Do you have thieves' tools?
He does. You do have thieves' tools, Pierce.
He grumbles for like a good 10
I was
seconds.
just like, come on, I want to get out of
Fine.
here.
So he'll take. Are they? If I grab my thieves' tools, is this like a medicine bag? Is it like a little wrapped up? What are we?
It's basically like a case that's got like a leather. It's a leather case with a string wrapped around it, and it's got like various things strapped inside.
Like a dentist toolkit, but with
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll say, be careful with this. Give it back to me. And don't drop it. And then as soon as I say that, I just throw it at her, like overhand
it.
throw it at her.
I catch it.
Make a dexterity check, Kes.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh, I'm not a spider anymore. That's good. So 12.
A 12. Yeah, you fumble with it for a minute, but you are able to catch it. You were not very far away. You fumble with it over all of the nice crystal that's right there, but you're able to like secure it, and you're like, oh. But yes, you
And
have.
Pierce says,
just-
I said, be careful.
I just look up at him and I'm like, why? And then I just go over. I go over and I try to pick the lock on the case with the bag in it.
Okay, you are not proficient in thieves' tools.
I am
but,
not.
I would say that with your background, there's no chance in hell you've never used thieves' tools. So make a dexterity check with advantage.
Hey, Zach.
Yes.
Q has finished his rat, and
Okay.
he's just gonna pick up 3 pebbles,
Okay.
like rocks or pebbles, and just kind of sort of like juggle them a little bit.
Okay.
It's just an important note of what's happening at the front of the building.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
21.
21. Yeah. It does not take you long. Second nature almost. So there's this little padlock that's dangling through this loop on the side of this door on the glass case, and you open it up, and the door opens easily.
I slowly reach my hand towards the bag.
Okay. You grab the bag. Question mark.
Yeah, I pick it up.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Make
What else is in this case?
In this case, there's not much. There are a couple of other bags, but they're more like pouches, like coin pouches. Nothing that looks particularly magical, but it's mostly other like leather
Was
works.
there another? There were 2 bags. There was a smaller one in this one, right?
Yeah. There's another bag of holding in there, but it's smaller.
I put it in this bag.
Okay. Yeah. Easily enough. Go ahead and make, just for the hell of it, make a stealth check for me.
I don't think it's just for the hell of it.
Okay.
I feel like there's a reason.
Stealth.
I feel like
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 21 again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You put the bag of holding inside the bag of holding.
Is there anything else around in here that catches my eye?
Make another. Make a perception check this time.
Oh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. What do you see? Yeah, you see a couple of helmets that sort of catch your eye. You see a couple, like you see some jewelry. You see a few weapons. You see some wands. You see specifically something that stands out to you is a ring, and it's got this really beautiful jewel in it. You're not exactly sure what it is, but it does. It's got this really beautiful like orange jewel inside it.
Okay. Is that in another case?
It is Yes, it is in like a jewelry case.
Is the jewelry case movable?
It is not movable, but it has a lock just like the one you just picked.
I pick it.
Okay. Make another dexterity check with advantage.
Oh, natural 20.
Okay. Yeah. Like nothing. Door pops open.
I grab all that jewelry and I put it in this bag.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to get back to you on what some of those are,
That's
but
fine.
yeah, you grab probably 4 or 5 different pieces of jewelry, like a couple of rings, a couple of amulets.
Okay.
Snatch it up, each piece.
Pierce sees this and he just utters a "God damn."
Okay. I look at Pierce. I put his tools in my bag. I'm like, I'll give these to you whenever we get back to the room. I'll put them in my bag. And then, tiny spider. Oh, and I also, wait, hang on. Well, I was gonna do this before I saw you roll, but I don't know if I can keep it while I'm in druid form. Hang on.
If it's concentration, I don't know what you're asking, but concentration thinks you
Yeah, I
can.
have no idea what you're asking.
No, pass without a trace.
Pass without a trace you cannot do in spider form.
No, I was gonna do it before.
Okay. I'll allow it. That's fine.
It is concentration, but I have Warcaster feet. Does that matter or no?
I think that's only for attack stuff. So I would say if you're going to cast it, you have to leave as a person, I think.
Okay, no, a tiny spider, and I'm getting out.
Okay. Let me double check that just to make sure, but I believe Warcaster is
I
just
thought that-
for attack type stuff.
I thought that
Augustin
Warcaster
said
allowed
it
you.
too. Warcaster's ability basically makes it so that you don't have disadvantage when you're maintaining concentration.
Yeah.
Or you can use your reaction during combat to just sling a cantrip off like Will.
It's mostly a combat
For
thing, and it's
some
like for
reason,
Constitution saving throws and stuff.
Okay, for some reason I thought I read that for druids it's particularly good for concentration spells.
But it is because you get advantage on concentration saving throws. But you can maintain as a druid. That's the difference between it and polymorph. You can maintain a concentration spell, so you can maintain
Oh, so I'm fine. Pass without a trace. Yeah, I'm good. Because I can
if
maintain
you
it.
cast it before you're a spider.
Yeah, I did want to cast it before.
If you cast it
I-
before your spider, then yes.
I actually meant to cast it before I went in, and I forgot. So she would have casted it the second she remembered.
Okay. Well, you're at this point. That's fine. Do you cast it on all 3 of you, or just yourself?
Well, they have to be within 30 feet of me, and stay within 30 feet of me.
Pierce is within 30 feet of you, but Q is not.
Okay, I cast it on me and Pierce then.
Okay. Easily enough.
And
And-
tiny spider and GTFO.
Okay. Yeah. You climb out the door or up the window.
Door. Same way.
Okay. Yeah. Crawl out. No problem.
Okay.
You are now
It's
outside.
bad luck to go out the different entrance than you came in. That's bad luck.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so
And at that point, you have your haul. You guys are standing outside. The lanterns are still lit. We're gonna go ahead and take our break because I have to pee so bad.
okay, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a break.
That went a lot better than I thought it was going to do. Okay. Let me-
All right.
intermission.
Spider!
Ow!
Just kidding.
They can hear us.
Said it's a W for Wombo.
Wombology.
One note.
Study of Wombo.
What? Pierce would have closed that door. I didn't want to interrupt you, Zach, because you were on at P stride.
Sure. I was
Pierce would
sprinting.
have closed that door before he left, just for the record.
Okay, yeah, just that window, easy enough. Yeah, you were able to get that closed. Again, nothing happens. At this point, you are all standing in the street. Kess, are you still in spider form, or have you human formed?
I'm still in spider form, and I'm gonna go to like a couple buildings down, like 2 alleyways down, and pop back in pop into an alleyway and pop back into cast form where no one can see
Is
me.
it like a little spider with like a big bag hanging off of it, like dragging down the?
No, druids. So whenever druids turn into a form, their
all of their stuff is absorbed.
Yeah, their possessions are absorbed. And
Fuck.
so
Is magic.
yeah. Do I need to make a stealth check?
Okay, well
to pop
that's
back in?
that's cheating.
Yes, please do.
Druids are cheating. Like that's just.
With your plus 10.
Yes.
Druids are cheating. Yes.
Stealth plus 10 is a.
It is absolutely impossible for you to fail this with a plus 10. But go ahead.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
okay. Well, it's like a 14, so it actually wasn't great.
It's a 14 with a plus 10.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that might have been bad, but it was not.
Okay.
So yeah, you go a couple of buildings down. You're standing in what you assume would be like a tobacco shop, like based on you see some leaves drying on the inside of it. Pierce and Q are a couple of buildings back, just kind of standing around, watching. And
I'm kicking the pebbles in front of Q.
yeah,
I'm gonna kind of walk in front of the building that I'm standing in, and I'm just gonna like kind of lean on it casually and wait on them to see me.
cool kids.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look real cool. And also my bag of holding is inside of my regular like bag, regular old bag.
Okay.
Pierce, I think Cass is trying to sell us drugs.
Well, let's go buy some.
Oh.
Okay. So you guys meet back up after a moment,
I
and
heard you guys wanted to buy some drugs.
Drugs?
Give me my tools.
I reach in and I hand him his tools, and I'm like, thanks, I gotta get my own set. I don't know why I don't even have a set.
okay. Yeah, your tools barely have fingerprints on them, Pierce. They look like they've not been used.
Okay, despite that, he's gonna go like, you could have taken better care of these, and then pocketed them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So what are we doing?
So are you gonna split that with us, or is that all you?
Oh man. Well, I got.
Did you bring a lockpick kit?
I got
Wait, did you
guys-
still fish?
No, but
It's not one of the singing fish, is it?
No. We got one singing fish. That's all we need.
Okay.
And oh man. Q, could I get you a fish in the morning? Does it happen now?
He looks really pouty.
You know what? What if
It can be later.
No, what if we go back? Let's go back and I'll get you another. Do you want a fish or do you want another cockroach? Or what is it? What was it? Cricket, a cave cricket.
You have a cave cricket? Do you have one of the big monster ass cave crickets?
I can go like get you one. Yeah, that'll be fine. If that's
We're
what.
gonna get lobster at 1:30 in the morning.
Can I not go to the inn and be like, yo, give me something about lobster?
Heist number 2.
You could pull out your big mouth Billy Bass and say, "Give me back that fillet of fish."
I could.
Don't you dare.
And I just like look at Paris and I'm like, we'll split it up in a little bit. I don't know what all I got, and I don't want anybody to know, or I don't want anybody else to see my stuff yet. We'll talk about it over breakfast. We need to get sleep, or we gotta leave early tomorrow.
Hey, what was that flower thing?
What? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Before you went and robbed the shit out of that place, you did a flower thing. What was the flower thing?
They call me
Mr. Pig.
They call me. Not they call me. They call me Mr. Pig. No, they're calming. I needed a moment of calm before we got into whatever we got into that didn't even really happen because I'm so awesome.
Oh, so it's like lavender.
Well, yeah. Well, it doesn't smell like lavender, but I mean, sure.
What does it smell like?
Well, we'll walk past it. If you want to smell it, you can. You're
It's fine.
so interested.
It's fine. Well, Pierce gives up on the conversation.
As soon as he gives up, like the tension in Kess's shoulders, they're like, ah. Just like, okay, thank God.
I'm gonna grab on her like skirt or dress or whatever and just tug.
Yeah? What?
I think we should go to bed. Hey, you can pay me in the morning.
Okay, that sounds good. Do you want to ride on my shoulders the way they
Yes!
are? Okay. I pick him up, put him on my shoulders.
Okay. And then at that point, you guys make your way back to the Vivian?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you guys walk through town. You guys see a couple of guards just patrolling, but they don't seem to pay you any mind or even give a shit that you're out. There seems to be, you can intuit, Kess, based on your time in Waterdeep, that they have bigger things to worry about than, people casually strolling through the night, even if it is,
A ghost looking lady and her lizard child?
No, I'm
yes,
not.
exactly.
I don't look like a ghost right now.
Yeah, she's Elven right now.
I'm Elva.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kess, you feel like that's probably your high elf form is probably part of the reason why they're not paying the three of you any mind.
Yeah, I know.
So you get back to the Vivian easily enough. You don't really the lights are like only about half the lights. Like most of the candles are out. It's about half lit. Pierce, the guy you talked to earlier, is working a graveyard shift. He's just kind of sitting there, like kind of dozing at the bar. As soon as you walk in, and he lazily like throws his hand back, and then he just continues to doze, propped up.
Okay, so Pierce had left the cards like on the bar when he got up. He did not take the cards that Kess gave him with him. Are they still there?
They are still there, but this person has absolutely been playing with your cards. But he's been playing no game that you recognize that appears to have no sort of rule set. He's just sort of it kind of looks like he was trying to build a house of cards. It looks like he got frustrated halfway through and tried to build a house of cards and they just kind of fell.
Okay. Pierce will is looked around. Are they still with me or did they go back to bed?
You guys tell me.
No, we're still with you. Yeah.
I went straight up. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to bed. Yeah, just night.
Oh, well, if she went, Q went too.
I'll walk Q back to him.
Because, he's on her shoulders.
Oh, that's true. Q's like, well, I'll stay. Wait.
I'm coming with you.
If they're not there, then Pierce will collect the cards again.
Okay. All right. So yeah, and then do you go to your room, Pierce?
And then it's sleep time.
Okay. All right. So Kess and Q, did both of you go to your rooms?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of you have anything you'd like to do before you go to bed?
Put out the candle wax fire of the stump of a hand.
It is absolutely putrid. By this time, the wax has dripped all the way down, and it's basically just like a charred hand. There's not much left of flame, but there is some smoke.
If that is that in our bedroom, because I feel like Augustus would have put that out a while ago.
Yeah, that was in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I pull the covers up, I'm just gonna whisper. Don't know if that awesomeness was because of you or because of me, but either way, it was good stuff, and I'm just gonna fall asleep.
Okay. Pierce, can I get a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yep.
Go ahead. Wisdom saving throws.
That's a 14.
Okay. You sleep like a rock. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys pass TF out, the most comfortable beds you've ever slept in, basically in any of your lives, maybe except for you, Cass. But you snooze hard. You wake up pretty much crack of dawn. You all got a full rest in, so you can go ahead and take your long rest, casters, if you want to prepare your spells for the day. It is the crack of dawn, and the day is yours.
I'm definitely one of the last ones down for bed, or down for breakfast.
Okay.
Q is
This is
first
probably
and
late.
expectantly.
Yeah, Q is basically sitting there with like knife and fork in hand and a bib tucked into his shirt, like he's just dangling his feet and sitting there. You guys find a nice place at the bar. The kitchen is buzzing about. You guys are actually the first people downstairs. You get the vibe that a lot of the other people there are like maybe dignitaries, important people who are sleeping in, don't necessarily have to be up at this hour. But yeah, you can smell bacon and eggs cooking in the kitchen, biscuits even, and some toast. You see juice, and you smell like tea and coffee being brewed.
So I'm down to 1 point of exhaustion now, right?
Correct.
I guess this would be studying some scrolls that he had kept with him on his person, because I think like last night when he was showing Q off some of the stuff that he had kind of like forgotten, like, oh yeah, it's like when you have all those bookmarks on your browser bar and you're like, oh yeah,
that thing.
I bookmarked that for a reason. Like I have that on my body for a reason. That's right.
Yeah.
So he's kind of pouring over things and sipping coffee.
Oh, and by the way, Hrothmar, I owe you this. The Evocation book that you got last week is actually, like I said, Evocation Nation by Atticus Flamerad.
Flamerad.
All right, thank you. That's a good name.
I didn't have that name in me last week, but I found it. So yeah.
It's pronounced Flamerad.
Flamerad. So yeah, you guys, the servers slide these enormous piles of food in front of you. You find out that it actually is complimentary. It comes with a room. So they slide these in.
Do you have any more of that lobster from last night?
You want lobster for breakfast?
This guy does. I point at you.
Cave cricket, please.
Cave. Did he say cave cricket?
Cave
And then
cricket?
the other-
Yeah, that's what he
cave-
said. Chop, chop. Let's do it. I'll pay whatever. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, we can. It doesn't. You just. All right, boil some water.
I just
I'm
look.
gonna. Pierce over here says. Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I look at Q and I'm like, don't tell anybody about what we did, okay? Okay.
Cricket.
Yeah, cave cricket. Oh yeah.
With the sun's up, we don't have to whisper.
Yeah, you don't have to whisper. Oh.
The barkeep actually comes back over, and he's like, actually, that's we can't actually give you the lobster complimentary because it's not actually on the menu for breakfast. We can give it to you, but it will be an upcharge.
I said I'll pay for whatever. It's fine.
All right, it's gonna be 3 gold.
That's fine. Sure.
All right.
I hand him 3 gold.
How do you still have money after
Some
that
coffee a little bit, like-
spree? Oh wait, never mind.
What? What'd you say?
What was that,
Who?
Pierce?
Yeah, Pierce. Pierce, good.
Oh, sorry, Hrothmar. I didn't mean to talk over you. After after Kess said that she would pay for whatever, Pierce would slyly say, all that money after that shopping spree yesterday. Oh wait, never mind.
We did go
What-
shopping.
Would you like for me to
And
buy
she
you breakfast
winks.
as well? Are you feeling a little left out? I'm in a very good mood today, so I don't mind. Suit yourself. It's fine.
Cass, point of order. Have you examined all of your haul from last night yet?
No.
You haven't? Okay. Good to know.
I will, if I have a moment alone, I'll do that. But alone. Well, actually, I would have done it if Jindy had have gone to breakfast before me. And I probably slept in because of being up so late and doing that. So probably, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
Cass, you are sitting in your room. It is the morning time. You are in there alone. Jindy, you have gone down to breakfast. All of you are sitting at breakfast. All of you have these plates of food in front of you, but there is no Cass down there with you yet.
I'm in my room. I'm still sleeping.
You're still sleeping as well? Okay,
George
good
goes
to
to
know.
sleep until someone wakes him up.
Good to know. All right, Cass, what you got?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna, I think I can only look at stuff.
Okay.
Oh, wait, let me double check. I can't, like... Oh, man, I have a lot of spells. No, I cannot, like, identify or anything like that, so...
Okay.
I think I can detect... Can I detect magic?
I don't believe so.
I can.
You can? Okay.
So I would have prepared that and detected magic on those.
You detect
items.
magic on everything.
Yeah, I would have, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. You literally detect magic on every piece of every item you stole last night.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, you got it from a magic shop. Do you like open the bags of holding?
Yeah, I look at everything. Definitely.
Okay. The bigger bag of holding opens with a drawstring. So you open it up and you see, I imagine you turn it inside out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you turn it inside out, and the bigger one, there's nothing in there. The second one is closed by a zipper. And you said you do open it as well? Mm-hmm. You unzip it. Woof! This bright blue ink just blasts out all over the bedroom in a projectile fountain. Blue ink. You have triggered the security disc.
Dabba-dee-dabba-da.
It is all over the ceiling. It goes like about 5 seconds, just woof of solid geyser of blue ink.
Oh no, Kess just blew herself.
It is all over the walls. It is all over the bed. It is all over you.
Well,
And you realize that these are the traps that you detected last night.
I was just like, like coughing. Like, well, this is not good. It's on the ceiling.
Yeah, it jutted out in like a basically a wide jet for about 4 or 5 seconds. There's ink dripping from the walls, and it's like it's on your teeth.
Well, I go to the bathroom. We have a washroom in our room, right?
You do, yes.
I'm gonna go clean myself off and then clean the room as much as possible.
Okay. Make tell me how it is you do clean the room.
If you must know.
There's not a cleanliness check in D&D.
Not necessarily, no.
It's only for the clerics.
Right.
There's
Next to godliness.
and there's a and there's a window, right?
Yeah.
What's on the ground outside the window?
You're 2 stories up. There's not really anything underneath. It's just like the loose like cobblestone street below.
Okay. I'm gonna use water wall.
Oh.
Okay, let me look at this.
Play water wall.
Oh my god. Where is that?
I can
What?
make it up to 30 feet long and up to 10 foot high, but I'm gonna contain it in just the area that is all the ink, and I'm gonna open the windows and push it out that way. And then I'm gonna cast wind wall to push it.
Where do you have these spells? I'm looking at your spells and I do not see these spells.
What do you mean? I have them. They're my
Water wall?
They're my 3rd level spells.
Zach, you may only be looking at her prepared spells from her previous character sheet, but
Yeah,
she
you might
got
have to
prepare
refresh
new.
because I got to prepare new spells.
Okay. That's what was happeing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you got water wall and moon wall. Make it happen, Captain.
Gonna clean it up and swoosh it out.
Okay. So.
And I'm gonna do a Jindy dance. I've seen her dance in the water, and I'm gonna like mimic the dance she does to see if it feels any different while I make the water.
Okay, so you're basically like, you know, the capoeira guy from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
You're basically doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, you're doing the capoeira sort of dance.
Yeah.
And
Brazil.
okay, yeah, exactly that guy. So you said you're doing wall of water and then wind wall.
Yes.
So.
But I want them to be, because they can both be contained, like they can be up to a certain size, but they can also be as small as I want them. So I'm trying to contain it as much as possible.
So
And
you do the
shove everything out that window.
You do the water first. Okay. When you do, like, you pick up some bed sheets, like there's some bed sheets and pillows and stuff. You pick it up, and then most of the ink comes off. There's still some staining on like the wood and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you said you use the wind to push the water out.
I'm gonna try.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, to push it out the window.
Have you ever rented an apartment and then to get, you rent the steam cleaner the last day before, so you get your deposit back?
Haven't we all? So, I'm trying to figure out if this can actually this isn't going to be able to push all the water out. So
Okay.
so what you do just okay.
I mean,
I have
they're
no
trying to
idea.
push
I
it
have no
out.
idea what.
I'm either trying to push it out or just dry the room as like with like a giant blow dryer, like as quickly as possible.
God Almighty. Okay,
So it
yeah.
probably sounds crazy in there, by the way.
Yeah, it's total fucking The Shape of Water up in there. So like you have the wall of water and someone's standing outside. There is someone just so happens to be walking down that alley as you push this wall of water out. You push this wall of water out, and then like some pillows and some bed sheets and a Bible placed by the Fantasy Gideons, like it just it bursts out of the window, and you hear ah! on the street below you, and you look out, and there's an elven man just sort of looking up like.
I'm just gonna be like, I'm sorry, I blew myself, and I'm just gonna pop my head back in.
Okay, so at this point, you probably blew, and that. I am trying really hard to figure out how to resolve this.
If I can't
That-
push the
that
water out,
water-
I want to dry it.
That water 100% cracked the windows. The force of it, like, it didn't necessarily shatter them, but it cracked them.
That's fine.
So you got most of the water out. It's still a little bit above, like, it's about ankle deep in there. You were able to get a lot of it out because the wind was sort of able to create a kind of vortex, and it pushed most of it out.
I wouldn't have put as much water in there to be ankle deep, though.
You said you
Like-
used wall of water, which is
A wall.
a wall of water.
Well, it can be as small as I want, though.
30. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
It doesn't have to be 20 feet.
Yeah, but the window is only so wide. So it's not necessarily ankle deep, but there is still standing water in the room. You were able to get quite a bit of it out eventually, but there is still a little bit of there are puddles, to say the least. All of the ink is out save for the stains. As are all of the bed sheets and pillows.
Okay.
Your things, like all of yours and Jindy's things, are still there. They weren't among the refuse. You took all your stuff downstairs? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of your stuff is still there.
Okay.
The
How-
bags they're leather and they're stained with splotches of blue at this point.
How much do I imagine this would cost?
Make an intelligence check with disadvantage
Okay.
based on what Cass knows about stuff.
About money, yeah. Okay. Oh, with disadvantage, it's a 5.
5. I mean, you don't know. It could cost 20 gold. It could cost 150. You really have no idea.
I'm gonna.
Pierce, she promised me breakfast.
That is a good point. While she is doing this, while she is taking care of this mess in the room, you guys can kind of hear some sort of stuff happening upstairs. And there's actually, you see water dripping from the ceiling, like from the floorboards. You can see it like dropping into your breakfast. It's sort of.
It's on some of the scrolls I'm reading, and I pack them up quickly and kind of like.
Yeah, I think she's busy, kiddo. Just give her a minute.
But yeah, Cass, after about a half hour, you're able to get most of the water up using all of the towels and all of the robes and stuff that are still in the room. You're able to get most of it up. It is very moist. It's very damp in this room, but it is mostly.
I'm gonna.
It's better than it was.
I'm gonna take 50 gold, leave it on the dresser, and take a note and write sorry about everything.
It's more than Green Day ever did.
Oh my god. Okay, that is delightful. So, Kess, when you go downstairs, those of you, what do you look like when you come downstairs?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I cleaned I showered and cleaned myself off, so I don't have blue or anything. I should look normal, except I should have maybe a little bit of like dampness on the bottom of my dress from where I've walked in puddles.
You're a little bit damp. Your hair is still wet, and you, I would say
I can
you
just
definitely
change
make a
my
dexterity
hair,
check
right?
for me. Make a dexterity check for me, if you wish. Yes.
As cocked. Dex?
Yeah.
13.
Okay, yeah, you've got some blue underneath your fingernails and like stained on your fingers from trying to get it up, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
Well, if I see that, I would change my form
Okay.
and just make it not look like that.
Okay. Easily enough.
And I'm gonna
So you come downstairs and everyone is basically has cleaned their plates, and you have a plate full of food sitting there untouched.
The queue is staring daggers.
I say the whole thing that I said earlier about getting him
The lobster and
lobster
stuff. Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Q stares slightly less daggery.
The same conversation happens. 3 gold. Q gets a lobster.
How long did you say that she was up there?
Half an hour.
And how long would I know how long it is to get back to the boat that we had came on?
The boat that you came on, it would take probably about 25 minutes walking.
Okay, so when I was done with my meal, I would have left and gone and headed back to the boat.
Okay. So yeah, you make it. You make it back to the boat. What are you doing?
Looking for Captain Riddick so I can give him one of the bottles of nautical speech.
Okay. Yeah. You get there and Captain Riddick is he's actually in his quarters reading a smut book. You recognize it. It's a duplicate copy. It's Pirates of Fantasy Cove, and you walk in and he sees you and he snaps it shut and like puts it under his desk. Oh, hello. Can I? Hello.
Hi. We were in town and we bought these and we thought it would be I thought it would be a good way to communicate with you. So I give you one bottle, and if you're on the ocean or near the ocean and we have one, then we can like talk back and forth to each other.
Is magic?
Yes.
This is very good. Thank you.
So if you need us, I don't know if it like rings whenever like somebody
I do not know, but this should make things easy. I appreciate you thinking of me.
Get a set of ringtone on it.
Ding 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 ding. Did you just sing fucking Amarillo Sky?
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Okay. So yeah.
And then once there's nothing really. I just wanted to get him the bottle, and then I would have started making my way back.
Okay. As you get like further into the town, you actually hear. I imagine you're still Are you still holding the bottle, or is it in your bag?
I probably would have put it in my bag.
Okay. Yeah, you actually hear through the bottle. Like you feel the vibration, but you hear goodbye.
Vibration.
It's like an echoey one.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
But yeah, and then by the time you make it back, you actually see Kess sitting in there as well, and you see the rest of the group having finished their food. By this point, it's about 7 a.m.
We should get going. Right? Out of here, maybe?
Okay.
I say that
Okay.
to everybody.
I'd like to note that Dorf is still in his room sleeping.
Yeah, we're missing somebody.
Oh,
I'll go get him.
yeah.
Pierce is gonna go up and just like bang on the door. Beardy, it's time to go.
I would assume that wakes me up.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
Okay.
That loud, like him trying to wake you up. Yes, it does.
Okay. I get up, look around for like a minute. Where am I?
You awake?
What? Who's that? Is that you? Oh.
It's food downstairs. Come on.
Oh, right. Hold on. And then just get up, stretch, and
Stretch.
start to pack my stuff up. I'm gonna look around for a minute, and then I whistle, and then Pickett comes crawling out from like a drawer. That Dorf had like put a little bit of he'd taken like a blanket and put it in there for him, and comes up, and then he just scurries up and just goes right into his beard. And he goes, all right, let's go. And he heads downstairs with all the rest of the peeps.
Okay. Yeah, you get down there and there's just a plate of food waiting on you.
He eats it.
Okay. And then at this point, you guys said you're headed out.
Oh yeah, Kes
Okay.
is trying to get out as soon as possible.
As you guys are walking out the door, you guys hear you guys hear housekeeping upstairs yell, "What the fuck is all this all about?"
Sounds serious. Maybe we should go check it out.
No, we have other things we have to
What
check
happened here?
I just look at it. Guys, did I leave my candle?
No.
Okay. I thought that might be what they were freaking out about.
When he left, he threw it in the trash.
I just look at Pierce and I'm like, just like making like the worst face ever. Like, that was definitely me. We gotta go.
Okay. So you guys get outside. Your horses are still hitched up, and as you make your way out of town, let's get not necessarily a marching order, but who's in the lead?
We have a map still, yeah.
Yeah, you got the map.
The middle.
I would say Gustus is leading up the rear. He's still pretty like he's wanted to participate in the adventure, but he's still kind of like wrapping up mentally like what he was going over.
Sure.
The pamphlets and stuff.
So who's leading?
I mean, I think I still have the map. I think.
Okay. So Cass, make a survival check, please.
Q is as close to both Pierce and Cass as possible. He has best friends now.
Biffs.
It is. All right.
22.
You're your dad.
22. Okay. So yeah, quite quickly
We
and
have our
quite
horses,
easily.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got our
You
horses.
got your horses outside, huh?
They were in the
And
back.
oh my god,
Every time.
every
sad.
single time. So yeah, you guys make your way through Waterdeep. Kess, it does not take you long. You're able to see pretty much exactly where you need to go. It takes you about 45 minutes of riding on more or less paved street, like cobblestone street, before you're able to make it to the edge of Waterdeep and the road that you know to head east toward Evercrest. And you guys carry on throughout the morning. At about noon, at what pace are you guys traveling?
Probably normal.
Probably
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be rushed, really.
Okay. So yeah, at about noon, you guys find an easy spot to take a short rest. And
Short rest?
if you guys would like to do anything while you're on this rest, you are free to.
Gonna,
And if not, we can move on.
Short rest doesn't do anything for my exhaustion, right?
No.
Okay.
Gonna take the stained bag, the small one.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw it at Pierce. I guess he's like sitting there chilling,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna be like, "It's got blue
He
on
doesn't
it."
catch it. It just like hits him.
Yeah. It's got blue on it. Matches your hair. You can
This
have
is
it.
mine.
Yeah.
Great.
I,
Not happy that this is all he's gotten, but he'll just put it in his pocket.
I don't know what the other stuff does yet.
Pierce, make an Arcana check.
Okay.
I'm not thinking Pierce knows what this is, but it's worth seeing.
13.
13. Yeah, it's nice. It's a leather bag. You feel like it's worth more than the 5 gold that she gave you, and it looks a lot like the one Dorf has that you looked in earlier.
If he doesn't know what it is, I will sit there and take the time to explain it to him.
Okay.
A
And
purse. Thank you.
yeah, it's a purse for all your pretty purse needs. I'm gonna put stuff in it and then flip it inside out and show him that, when it's inside out, everything goes out.
So just like a regular bag, when you put stuff inside and turn it inside out, stuff falls out.
Okay, fine. Look.
Just as expected.
No. Fine.
Yes.
Like,
You said you take the time to explain to him that it is magical.
yeah, and I want to explain, like, that if, like, that you have to okay, look, whenever you reach your hand in there, you have to think of what you want, and if it's in the bag, it'll come to your hand. Okay.
Okay, so if I
so put your cards in
hand
there.
in, and I want a steak,
No.
it has to already be in there.
Well, if you put a steak in there, but like put your cards in there.
Right.
The cards.
Pierce pulls the cards out. They're like in a pocket, like in his duster, and he puts it in the bag.
Okay, put your hand in there and think of a specific card.
Okay, just gonna think of the King of Spades.
Pull your hand up. It's the King of Spades, right? DM?
Is this your card?
Is this your card?
So yes, that is when Pierce learns how bags of holding work. Are there are there any other items that you all would like to do on this this short rest?
I want to go over to Augustus.
Okay.
Augustus.
Castello, what's up?
Do you know how to identify things? Like if something's magical, do you know what it does?
I'm not inherently. I mean, I know how to essentially break magic things, but identification can be kind of a tricky business.
Oh.
Do you need magic removed from something?
No, not at all. I just need to know what things do. Okay, I asked Jindy and I asked Dorf as well. And Q, but I don't know what Q's doing.
I can set it on fire.
No.
Wow. That's not what you want.
Wait, what did you ask?
Do you know how to identify magical items?
Oh. If they start doing things that they don't usually supposed to do, I will say that they're magical.
Would that just be like an Arcana check, I'm assuming?
You guys could make an Arcana check. I think she's asking specifically if anyone has Identify, which no one does.
No.
So I guess you all can take the time now to make your own Arcana checks if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make my Arcana checks on the items. I pull the items out and I'm like, I got these shopping, but I got really good deals on them, so I don't really know what they are. I just kind of got them in bulk.
Oh, I think I might know what that is. I rolled a 23 Arcana.
23 Arcana. Okay, so looking at all of those things, you're able to tell that one of them is a spider. No, that's the wrong tab. You're able to tell that one of them...
Q runs away.
You recognize a lot of these from your days in the Order of Brambles. But you recognize one of them is a ring of warmth. You recognize that one of them is actually a stone of good luck that's on a necklace.
Good shit.
You recognize that one of them is a ring of feather falling. And then you recognize that one of them is an amulet. It is a clockwork amulet.
Would I know what the clockwork amulet does?
Yeah, you would know that basically it's this amulet and it's got these intricate gears on the inside of it. And actually, like a creature that, like, if you are attacking, for example, you can forego a roll to get a natural 10 automatically.
Okay.
You like a natural 10 that you could then add your modifier to.
I try and do my best, like, explain this to Cass. Eventually,
Yeah, that's a little bit metagame, like mechanical talk, but that's what that does.
Yeah, of course. I would say, like, in character, it's a lot of, like, Augustus kind of rambling on about runes and magics and celestial charts. And like, talking about how things are connected, and then he holds up the ring and he's like, see? And then he drops it and it falls slowly into his palm. It's like, that's how you can tell it's a feather fall. And like, I go through each of these, but it's like, you're kind of bored by the end of it because it's just like so much talk, but we get there eventually.
Well,
And just super smiling, he's just staring at you like, yeah, right? Pretty cool stuff.
yeah. What does the Ring of Warmth do exactly?
He goes back into it from the top on the ring.
No.
It gives you resistance to cold damage.
Which would be great for your reptilian friends. Because we're cold-blooded.
Okay. Well.
Especially the small ones.
Okay. I mean, well, I guess since I did purchase these.
Very convincing.
Make a deception check as fuck. Make such a deception check.
I think I get advantage with deception.
Q believes her.
Yeah. I'm not. PvP,
Okay. Natural 20, but let me double check that I get advantage because of changeling with deception. If not,
you guys can choose whether or not you guys can choose whether or not you actually want to make insight, but that was
Yeah, I've got a 9 insight, so I don't think.
Yes, we have
I
10
saw
here.
her buy a lot of things. I have no reason to doubt her.
no reason to doubt her. Yeah.
It's one of those like, I'm like, where did you get this? I bought them. Okay. Like, it's like, it just takes it.
Like Timmy Turner. Internet.
Internet. Q 100% believes
Yeah.
it.
Okay, Kess. They believe you.
I hand the
So,
ring.
Pierce is slowly shaking his head, like not conspicuously, just like rolling his eyes.
Ring of Warmth goes to Q. I hand it to Q.
I'm imagining Pierce just winking into the camera.
So one of those Jim Halpert to the sides, like
Exactly.
Hook, line, and stinker.
Augustus, could you use a Ring of Featherfall? You're pretty heavy.
Rude.
I could use
if
it.
he falls, he would take like so much more damage, right? That's how fall damage works.
What if he cracked his shell? That would be so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against having one. They're always fun, and it looks nice on my hand.
I give him the Ring of Featherfall. Oh man, the amulet, the clockwork amulet, and the Stone of Luck. They almost do the same thing, really, to a point. But
Not necessarily actually at all. Stone of Good Luck gives you +1 to saving throws. And the
it's
clockwork,
just saving throws.
yeah. Well, it's ability checks and saving throws. I apologize.
Everything?
It's +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
Holy crap! Man, I should have gave that to Augustus.
All right, what are we doing, guys?
I'm on my horse.
Okay, so Jindy is like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm just chilling. I'm not like that's just
Yeah.
where I'm sitting.
Q is actually like jealously looking at Augustus's ring.
Q is like absolutely blinged out at this point, and he's just looking enviously.
Well, he's also inspecting the booty.
Of course, as one does.
right.
As he is certified.
Sure.
Yes.
So, Kess, is there anything else you're taking care of, or are you guys getting ready to leave again?
I'm pondering on who to give these last two rings to, but other than that, if anybody has any, wants to make an argument for them to have them, I'm listening. I'm not gonna keep them for myself.
You guys heard her. This is a Who Loves Kess More contest.
I'm pretty satisfied.
I just kind of think, that, what is the clockwork? Is that one time a day? Or is that every roll?
It's not every roll. For sure. It is every day, yes.
Once a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it after you roll?
No. You have to forego rolling the d20.
And just choose a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one needs to go to Pierce.
Pierce takes a look at the ring, like looks at the bag that he already has, and he feels like he's just completely encumbered by too much stuff. And without saying anything, he just here you go, Beardy, and he tosses it to Dorf.
The ring?
Yeah. The ring.
That was the amulet, correct?
Or the clockwork
okay.
amulet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna give Dorf the other one, but okay.
It falls into Dorf's
You
lap.
chose an asshole to give a gift to.
Well,
Looks to the left and is like, oh, what's this? Looks fancy.
It's basically like a Flavor Flav clock.
Yes. Please give me that art.
oh man.
my god.
Then looks at Pierce and says, thank you.
Then I give Jindy the Stone of Luck.
Okay. So you guys add those respective items. Add those respective items to your inventory. I believe the clockwork amulet. It might be difficult to find on D&D Beyond, but we'll talk after stream if you have trouble finding that.
I just want to. Can I just say why I had chosen to give it to Pierce real quick, just to like.
Sure.
Because
if you want to.
Because if he rolls low, his guns don't work in combat. So.
But you have to choose it before.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. And I got my bag. Fine.
Stack with others.
They should. You just can only be attuned to 3 items at a time.
Guys, the ring of warmth has 2 little foxes cuddling on it, and it has it's fur inlaid. I'm gonna send you guys a picture of this afterwards.
It's cute AF.
Cutest little freaking ring.
It's cute AF.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys finished your short rest. You have nice new items, and most of you believe that you came across them perfectly legitimately. And at this point, you guys head out again in the same marching order, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Kess, can I get another survival check? And also a perception check from you as well, Kess. And anyone else who happens to be looking out.
19 on survival.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Nat 20.
25.
18 on perception.
Okay.
24.
You guys are absolutely confident you know the direction you are going. It is now mid-afternoon. At this point, the sand of the coast has started to give way more to like grass and pine trees rather than palm trees. It's starting to become more of flat grassland rather than sand. You're still on a dirt road, but it's starting to look less. You're still very much so in a tropical climate, but you are. Yeah, you're on horses. You're on horseback.
Okay.
What is that smile? That's a scary smile.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, fine. So Yeah, it is now late, like after a while of riding, unless you guys have anything, you don't really see anything, you don't really pass anyone on the road. This is not a very well-traveled road.
I just want to point out that Rothmar made the DM laugh nervously, which is not.
That's not how that's supposed to work. Yeah.
So weird.
I guess that's indicative of me as a person. But about late afternoon, early evening rolls around, and you guys can see as the sun starts to set, you can see the lights of Waterdeep behind you. Kes, can I get you to make another survival check, please?
$17.
17. Okay. You intuit that you're probably 6 or 8 hours of travel time away still from New Hexton. But you can see, not only can you see the lights of Waterdeep behind you, in front of you, you can see lights on the horizon as the sun starts to set. So it's eventually the sun does go down and it is dark. You guys are able to find a decent place to set up camp if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys, I don't really think that we should go into the vampire town at night.
At night.
Why not? I'm joking. I know what a vampire is.
Okay.
We've met them before.
Okay.
Everyone kind of does one of those slow turns and looks at Q. Like,
Do you not remember what we just went through? Okay, yeah. So you guys are able to find a nice, like a large oak tree, and it's like you're able to find it's like a comfortable place to sort of tie the horses up to, set up camp. You're able to find some sticks to start a fire, and the evening is yours.
I think it would be a good idea for us to attune to the gifts that Kes gave us.
out of game question from
Sure.
like me to you guys. How does attunement work?
Basically, you just have to meditate with it.
How do we know that we have to attune to it in game as a character?
That's a good question. But because you have magic users in your group and they're able to be like, you have to spend some time with
I
that.
specifically have a
Yeah,
ring,
like
so I would know definitely
Yeah.
that for
Yeah,
rings
that Augustus would know.
and jewelry.
And it takes
Rothmar,
about.
you asking how to do it?
No, I was just like I didn't know that it was like a thing. I feel like Augustus would know about it since he has.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like a new one. Okay.
Absolutely, Augustus, you and Kes absolutely know. It's basically, like I said, it's basically just meditating with an item for 15, 20 minutes to get its magical aura, attuned to your
Aura.
life essence.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably know too. I'm a magic user as well, but
Yeah, exactly. You guys, this is not your first rodeo with magic items.
okay. Other question: How descript is my book that I got about necromancy? Non-descript or descript?
Well, it's not necessarily nondescript, but you have to spend some time poring over it. It's written in a bit of an archaic syntax, so
Right.
you're gonna have to spend some time with it to figure out.
Is there like a big title on the front that says necromancy or whatever it was called?
Open it up.
Yeah, there's a
Mortars.
big title on the cover and on the spine that says necromancy for foolish mortals.
Okay, so I would not be reading that in front of everybody. All right.
No.
You make a little grocery bag book cover for you.
Sure.
That
He's brown bagging a book.
It says,
He's got the smut book around it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
book around it and just read it.
I'm just reading porn, you guys.
Talking about the pirate's long member.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, you guys, if you choose, are able to attune to your magic items. 15 minutes, not a huge deal.
So is the bag of holding, the little mini bag of holding, is that a magic item that requires attunement?
It does not require attunement, but you do have it. And it
Okay,
is
so
magic.
while everybody is like meditating with their stuff, Pierce is like slapping it against his own forehead, just like bored.
Handbag.
Just like putting his head in another dimension and taking the bag back off.
I mean, we could play a round of eel.
Healthy.
You're
Oh
bored.
shit.
I would say, like, once I was done tuning to my stone that looks like a cat,
Lucky cat.
Kitty
I would-
Stone.
look towards Kess and say thank you for the stone. I don't know if I would know the lucky stone.
You're welcome.
Thank you for good rock.
Good luck.
Oh my god.
Black rock.
All right,
Coming back.
what are we doing, guys?
Hey, Pierce, if you're bored, play cards. Just saying.
So
I heard that you can eat eel. From Augustus. Augustus told me. Blame Augustus.
You.
He did say that.
Eels, the animals, but not the cards. They're two different things.
We use the cards to summon the animal.
If you have enough mana, yes, but it's oh boy. Yeah, Augustus is down to try playing some eel.
Okay.
Q has a fierce competitive streak, so he is also down.
Okay.
Pierce hasn't even opened his eel. Nothing. He has not opened it. He hasn't touched it. He hasn't looked at it. So he's going to sit back and watch.
I haven't either. So are we gonna like split up the watch or something? I'd like to go to sleep as soon as possible. I'm not really feeling great.
Yeah.
We'll keep watch.
Yeah.
All right, wake me up when it's my turn to take watch, and then Dorf is just gonna go pass out.
Okay. Dorf, make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Disadvantage, right?
No, not disadvantage.
Oh, my wisdom sucks. 14?
Okay. You sleep like a rock.
Yay.
We should probably
You
cover
sleep.
his watch tonight.
Probably how what?
We should probably cover his watch tonight if y'all want to split it up.
Yeah, Augustus.
If you guys are playing cards, I'll watch. This is not actually taken watch yet once, but since they're playing cards, he'll volunteer.
Okay. So who is playing eel? Who is sleeping? Who is on watch?
Pierce on watch.
Okay, cool. That works out.
I'll watch as well.
Okay. So Pierce and Kess, can I get perception checks from each of you? This is just for a point of clarity. This is at this point we're late-ish in the evening, probably around 10 o'clock. I imagine you guys have had food. So this is late-ish in the evening, and Kess and Pierce are just sort of starting their watch as everyone else winds down for the evening.
That makes sense.
Okay.
17.
17.
Natural one.
Oh. Yeah, you don't see shit. You're kind of like, you're so distracted watching Augustus and Q play eel, which, by the way, just for everyone watching and listening in podcast form, we had, like, out of game, I have explained the rules of eel to the players already just to make this a little bit quicker. But basically what it is, and I don't know if you guys have, like, read all of the stuff.
I'm trying to. Let's do a rules explanation just in case.
Yeah, no, I totally am. So basically what it is, each card has a rank. So each player, or each battle rather, is a sort of like a 1v1 sort of deal. So, and each card has a rank to it. So that rank determines your HP and the dice that you roll. So each battle, each eel master has a deck. You can choose three cards from your collection and put them on your deck.
I will take Kess's natural one and watch if you'll let Kess and Gus play the first round. Because Q would not understand any of this.
Okay, that's totally fine.
Is that why Locke's roll of a 1 is such crap? Because she's
just paying attention.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I was watching Eel. Okay.
So each of you, in order to play Eel, each of you get 3 cards from your deck. Choose 3 cards from your deck.
Okay.
Choose like whatever rank, and you can put these cards on your battle deck. You choose the dice and use that spreadsheet that I sent you. You choose the dice that goes with each of them, and that's what you roll. You roll 3 dice at a time in a contest with each other. The higher roll wins, and the loser has to take the amount of damage that is the difference between the two. I swear to God, it's easier than I'm making it sound.
Okay, let me. So
I know that I rolled. Yeah, go ahead.
For example, if I take a gold card and 2 silvers, okay, then my HP would be 26 points.
Yes.
Overall.
And you would have, you said a gold and 2 silvers, you would have a D8 and a D10. You would have 2 D8s and a D10. Mm-hmm. And you would roll those against each other.
It's a lot easier than it sounds. So
Hrothmar, get 2 silvers and a gold. So all you have to do is get 2 D8s and a D10.
Yeah, grab it.
Okay, 2D.
Jindy would be like, she's a visual learner, so she'd be like sitting there kind of like trying to learn as they're like playing.
Right. So like you open your binders and you see your cards there, and there's actually a cardboard battle deck, and it says battle deck in big bright yellow letters on it. It's cardboard, and you fold it and you put it out, and it's got these 3 cutout spots for cards. Each of you have this. And then so basically, in order to do this, you just roll the dice against each other, and whoever loses has to take the amount of damage that is the difference. So Augustus, if you roll 17 and Kess rolls 15, Kess has to take 2 points of damage to the total HP of her deck.
Yes.
That sounds good.
So if you get a gold and 2 silver, right? Was that what you got? So a D10 and 2 D8?
Correct.
Okay, so now we rolled them. So roll and then add them together and tell me what you get.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's my current HP with that.
That would be 26.
Yes.
Because you add the sum of the dice, up for your HP.
The sum of your 3 dice is also the sum of your HP. Yeah.
So it's 8, 8, 10. So 16 plus 10 is 26. Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we roll. Okay.
But before you roll, as you take out and you examine the cards, it's these brown cards with a nice gold edge to it, and there are these eels intertwined on the back. And when you flip it over, you see that each of them has eels that look more or less the same, but they are eels with a bowler hat and a bow tie and a cane. So on the card they have this. When you put the cards down on your ready deck, on your battle deck, there is an explosion of holographic light, and you are outside. So these gigantic 20-foot eels just in a million points of holographic light explode from your decks.
I jumped back a little bit,
and so the eels are sitting there, and each eel sort of derpily has its tongue out, and they're wearing a bowler hat and a bow tie, and they have a cane. So they're sort of just sitting in the video game ready position where they're bouncing side to side.
Q has hidden under Pierce's coat.
How big were these things?
They're 20 feet tall.
Tails.
No,
You would when you read the manual, you would know that it says use caution when playing eel outside. So that would make you think that they're gonna the holographic eels are going to adapt to whatever room they're in, like a little fish.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
Dwarf pulls his blanket over his head.
Yeah.
For bright.
I rolled a 10 altogether. What'd you roll?
I rolled 19.
So I take 9
19.
points of damage.
Indeed. So, right out of the gate, Augustus, your eel, like one of your eels, probably the one with each, and their bowler hats and their bow ties are the color of their rank. So this is the one that's gold. So it's got a gold bowler hat, and it steps forward and it just whacks the shit out of the other eel with its cane, out of one of the other eels with its cane.
Rolling
Just
it.
like pop right across the face. I dropped my
Next
pen.
one. Oh
All
man,
right.
I'm rolling
Next.
so bad.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
9.
20.
Ow!
So you take 11 points of
11
damage.
points. Oh my god.
That's 20 points of damage total, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
Come on, Cass. I thought you've been studying.
I haven't.
So-
This is my first match. What the heck?
I thought we agreed that we were going to study the cards last night.
I got really tired and I fell asleep.
Augustus knows everything about eel at this point. So
My whole deck.
another one of your eels comes up and just jabs the other eel like straight through the heart with it, and it just like it like cries out in pain. But it's silent. Like all of this is happening in silence, but
Okay.
they're there. So yeah, you've taken 20 points of damage total. Roll again.
All right, here we go. 12.
13.
So Augustus, your eel takes 1 point of damage. Kess, your eel comes up and it just like basically it basically like bunts. It tries to like pop across with the cane just like this, and the canes are kind of floating because the eels don't have hands. So the cane just kind of goes pop up against the face and kind of like bloodies his nose a little bit.
Okay. Again.
Next roll.
All right, what do we got?
Oh.
It's 7.
22.
7 total.
7 total, 22. Okay,
15
so yeah,
points
you
of
take 15
damage.
points of damage. So Kess's eel comes up and just whop, just like 2 hits, whop, whop, right on each side of the face.
My eel. It looks
getting
like
it
I've
now.
spoken too soon about your powers.
Yeah.
Was that? Were you ad libbing for the eel? Is that were you like muttering under your breath?
Saying this out loud. He's
Okay.
very much into eel roleplay. He read.
This is turning into a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my
episode.
god. I guess this is a LARPer.
Okay, next roll.
17.
18.
Oh my god, no.
1 point of damage to Augustus.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still doing bad though.
This isn't over yet, Cass.
Getting weirdly into this.
Oh no. Oh no, I had 5 total. Oh, God.
21.
Oh
Jesus Christ.
damn!
That's
So
it,
yeah.
I'm dead.
So yeah, you see as the eel, one of Kess's eels comes up and just wraps themselves around all of yours and just cinches, and your eels fall to the ground. So
Ha.
now, Augustus, I need you to roll a d6.
A D6. What is that? That's gonna give me a 1. Just
A 1. Okay, those eels are out of commission. They have to heal for 1 day, so you cannot play with those cards. So make that note in the spreadsheet.
So you just mark that one of your.
Spreadsheet.
2 that yeah, it's I'll show you later, but just right now make a note
Get it later.
that your 2 silvers and your gold, like 2 of your silvers and 1 of your gold, are healing for a day.
Okay, can do. Noted.
And that is eel.
I'm victorious.
I like it.
Yes.
Locke has yet to lose.
No, I lost to you.
Oh yeah, you lost to me once.
I
Okay.
did lose to you
Locke
once,
helped
yeah.
me play test this.
Yeah.
All right. What is Q and Pierce? You guys are on your watch. Pierce, you don't really see anything. You actually see a few bats flying eastward toward the lights that you see on the horizon. But you don't. It's
He's
nothing.
gonna flip him off.
They don't shit on you this time.
He also saw 2 40-foot fucking kaiju battle not
Yeah.
5 feet from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and with that, unless anyone wants to play another round of Veal, I would imagine Kess, you and Augustus eventually make your way to bed. Or do you play another round? Okay.
Like, he's not like, he doesn't have an ego, so his ego's not hurt about it. But he's
Right.
fascinated that he lost after all the studying that he did. So he's like back in the handbook, even though it's straight up like a dice game. He's like, no, it must have been me. So he's just like studying.
Okay. So with that, Q and Pierce, your watches will eventually, after everyone goes to bed, your watches will come to an end. Who would you like to wake up for the next watch?
Q's gonna wake up Jindy because she went to bed earlier.
Yeah, I'll go kick the turtle.
Okay. That sounds like a euphemism for something. I don't know what. But yeah, you kick the turtle. So
Hey, you're up.
Jindy and Augustus, can I get you to make perception checks, please?
Yes. I got perception 5 total.
12.
Okay. Actually, before we do that, when you guys go to bed, I forgot about rotating watches. When you guys go to bed, I need each of you. Let's go ahead and do everyone now. Can I get everyone besides Dorf to make a wisdom saving throw?
What is wrong with us?
We don't know.
We don't
8 total.
know.
8 for Augustus.
The dirtiest 20.
26, 20.
13.
13 for Kess. Pierce?
8.
8. Okay. All right. So, Pierce, we shall start with you. When you go to sleep, you start to hear the sounds in this dream before you actually see anything. There's like twisting metal and scraping as you pick a lock. You hear the creaking of hinges and the groaning of wood. When you do finally see, when your vision does finally clear, it's through the eyes of your teenage self. It's way past midnight, and you're in a barn that you actually recognize as your father's shop. You see equipment for both smithing and woodworking. Wood finishing. You see barrels of water, tools hung up on the wall, and you make your way to the back of the barn to a large safe. You put your ear against the safe, and with ease, you twist the dial left and right, listening, following the lead of the tumblers you hear inside the door. The door swings open, and there you see a pair of pistols. You grab them, and you remember the power that you felt in that moment. You feel it coursing through your veins. You don't feel invisible anymore. You point the weapon at a bucket across the room and fire. When you do, you have no idea whether or not the bucket shatters. The room fills with smoke, so much so that your sense of place is displaced. When it clears, you're somewhere else entirely. You are back in the hold of the ship, where you just had your most recent fight. You're face to face with what you can only assume is a vampire, and you have it cornered against the wall. You try to jab a stake into her chest, but you miss entirely, and the stake splinters in two against the wall. The creature grabs you by the head and sinks her teeth into your neck and rips your throat out completely. As you fall to the floor, dying, you feel you're unable to breathe. You're unable to even cough, and you feel the cold metal of the gun's barrel pushing up against your side, both your sides, as you're lying on top of it, like jutting into your skin. And you remember that they're there, but that even they hadn't been able to save you. As death takes you, your vision blurs again, and after a moment, you hear twisting metal scraping as you pick a lock, hinges creaking and wood groaning. You're back in your father's shop. This exact scene loops through the night, you living and dying, over and over again, growing more and more intense each time. Kess, When you dream, you're in a familiar building. A long, well-traveled indoor marketplace. As you're walking inside, Pierce is walking past you on his way out into the snow. He ignores you almost completely. It smells like smoke, many different kinds of smoke, tobacco smoke, furnace smoke, even the smoke from roasting meat inside this building. It's a familiar trifecta of smells that you've smelled many, many times, but not since you've left home. The building is empty, save for you now. You feel layers of heat and cold in the air, cold from the blizzard that's raging outside and the sporadic heat from furnaces that are burning throughout this open building. Despite the fact that the building is empty, all of the kiosks and storefronts are well stocked with various goods from silks and furs to meats and fish and fresh imported vegetables. But it looks as though the building was cleared out in a hurry. Caw, caw, caw! A crow swoops over your head from behind, and its claws actually scrape the back of your head as it flies over. You feel blood trickling down the back of your neck. You watch as it lands 100 yards from you. You follow it, and you realize that something is very, very wrong. You're walking against your own will. You don't want to be walking. This building has never been empty before. Even in the dead of night, it's lively with people from all walks of life, trading goods and stories. You've spent thousands and thousands of hours here. This cannot possibly be right. You are scared. You approach this crow, and you see that it's landed on a body. The body of a young high elf man dressed in silks, wearing silver jewelry and eye makeup. As you approach him, you see a bullet wound in his chest. And you see a white flower with a black iris growing out of the wound. You pick the flower, and when you do, the body bursts into flames. The crow sits still perched on top of this body, unflinching, unburning, as this body burns into a pile of ash. You blink, and when your eyes open, you are back at the entrance of this building, and Pierce is walking past you again. This loops throughout the night, growing more and more intense each time. Jindy, were you the other one that failed?
I rolled a 26.
You rolled, so it wasn't you, it was Augustus?
Yeah,
It was Augustus, yes. Augustus, you're in your office at the Order of Brambles. You're talking to one of the students you advise. You recognize that she's Dragonborn, but you can't quite make out her face, even though you're looking right at her. But you do know that she sees you. You remember that she comes into your office at least 3 times a week. She's bright and hopeful. Your teachings have resonated with her more than any other student you've ever encountered. As a matter of fact, you two are almost just as friends, sharing a nice pot of lemon and bramble root tea that she recently gave you as a birthday gift. A moment after you sip the tea and you feel the warmth in your mouth and in your throat and in your esophagus settling in the bottom of your stomach, it turns ice cold. You remember why you've brought her here this afternoon. You set your tea down and cross your hands, and you tell her that you are leaving the Order of the Brambles so that you can put your knowledge to use in the world. She, with shaking hands, puts her tea down. What about us? She says. And you don't have a response. Instead, you walk to your shelf and retrieve a fresh, unused, leather-bound spell book, and you give it to her. In the split second that both of your hands are touching the book, you live for a century as a ghost, as a passenger, following this former student of yours around in her travels. You see the bright young woman before you in a loathsome, miserable existence. You see the spells that will be copied into the spell book and what they'll be used for. You see dark, bleak, horrifying magic that destroys knowledge and life instead of builds it. You see people who will be her victims. You see families, children tortured because of the knowledge that the spellbook will hold. And it all starts in this moment, this exact moment where she loses you, her mentor. This moment where her mind becomes jaded and vulnerable to influence. All you have to do is stay. And none of what you have seen will ever come to be. But she yanks the book out of your hand and storms out of your office. You look into the fruit wedge that's floating in your tea. When you look up, Your student is yet again sitting in front of you, happily sipping her tea. This moment loops over and over until you wake up.
Whew.
But you do wake up for a watch.
I do. Yeah, I think
this dream happens. This dream happens once before you wake up for your watch, and then you can keep You guys made perception rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was mine was a 12.
Mine was a 5.
A 5. Okay. You don't see anything, Augustus. You are deeply, deeply shaken by what you have just dreamed. You guys can't really tell anything. You just kind of sit in silence, unless you wish to talk about anything.
I would say Augustus tries to bring up some like lighthearted topics like the weather and like he tries to bring up eel, but I can't tell if Jindy's like interested or not.
Sure.
So it's kind of like small talk that never gets anywhere throughout the night.
Okay. And quickly and uneventfully, your watch comes to a close. Who are you waking up?
Who was that? The last one?
I guess.
I thought it was Pierce.
That was the second watch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be one more.
Who was the third one? Was it? Because Locke was the first one.
No, I wasn't.
No. It's Locke and
Me and
Dorf is the only one that's not taken, but y'all said that you were thinking about letting him sleep through the night.
I would say Augustus just tries to do a second.
Okay.
I can watch.
Okay.
Do we need another perception check for them?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see.
And you wake up. You wake up. Cass, you said.
An 18. Yeah.
Okay. 18. Cass, you said you're waking up as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Man, how did people just like wake up back then?
15.
Like I'm gonna
15.
wake up at 3. Like how did you?
Both of you stare into the silence, into the darkness. You feel hyper aware of everything happening around you, but apart from the occasional flutter of bat wings, the occasional singing of crickets, the rest of your watch. Crickets, yes, Q. Your watch comes to an end. I need
Before my
Augustus.
Watch,
Go ahead.
just before my watch comes to an end, I'm gonna go just off into the field and grow a flower because I didn't do it before I fell asleep a while ago.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna be like, were you there? Did you see the dreams? Were they dreams?
And you're like off by yourself, just for clarity, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
I just want to make sure Augustus did.
I'll just probably be like, I'm gonna go pee, and then I'll just go. Like,
Gotta go to the Wiz Palace.
yeah. And then I'll just go do the flower thing.
Okay.
And then I just kind of get up and walk away from it.
Okay. So, about the time the flower comes up out of the ground, the sun starts to poke over the horizon. And another day has come. I need Kess and Augustus and Pierce to take a point of exhaustion.
Dorf wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I feel great today."
That is a very good point. Dorf, you wake up and all of your points of exhaustion are gone.
Where do I mark? Oh, conditions.
Under
Right.
conditions, yes.
Dog, what do you guys think? Huh?
Under
And
conditions.
Steve-O, you've
Wait, where is
probably never messed with exhaustion before, but what it is it's just under your conditions on the right side of your character sheet. But
Right.
you get disadvantage on ability checks while you have a point of exhaustion.
Great.
Gotcha.
I was just so good at rolling before, so finally balanced me out a little bit.
And the day is yours. What are you all doing?
I guess this is so tired.
Yeah, Kess is like groggy.
Yeah. Keeping it pretty chill, I would say.
I'm gonna.
You guys may not believe it, but Pierce isn't in a very good mood.
Even more so than normal.
Dorf is actually like looking through his eel cards, and he's like,
Okay.
"Have you guys heard about this game, Eel? Eel.
Please, they're terrifying.
What? Oh, wait, you guys have played it before? Where did I get these from?
Last night while you were sleeping.
Oh, yeah,
That was a
right.
fake yawn, but it got me.
Makes sense. Oh, definitely need to check this out.
It's
You just, like,
pretty
rifle through.
fun. It seems like something that will take a great deal of studying and mastery to really get good at, I think.
Didn't you get your ass kicked last night?
Yeah, it's yes. You only lose if you give up. You got to keep going.
All right, well, I guess we should hit the road then, guys, eh?
I reckon. He starts packing up.
Yeah, start packing up, getting on my horse.
Kess
Okay.
is super just like not talking to anybody or looking at anybody.
Okay. So as you guys get going, what is our marching order for the day?
I give Jindy the map. And then just
You sure you don't want to lead?
no, I'm good. You take it.
No.
No.
I guess it's me and Jen in the front then.
Okay. Can I get both of you? Well, actually, Jendi, you have the map, so make a survival check, please. And whoever wishes can make a perception check as well.
I guess this probably is not paying a lot of attention.
18
Makes sense.
survival.
Okay.
14 perception on mine.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys are going, heading toward New Hexton, Jendi, you are 100% confident that you are going in the right direction. As a matter of fact, you even see a sign that says, New Hexton, and there's a crude arrow pointing this way, as if you're on some sort of trade route.
Okay.
But you feel like you're at mid morning. You feel like you're probably late morning. You're probably 4 hours away.
Kess is actually gonna hop off of her horse, turn into a white wolf, and just run alongside everybody.
Okay,
Just
I mean,
without issue.
one less horse that we need, right?
she side eyes Q like, "Don't you dare touch my horse!" But she just it's gonna. I turned into a dire wolf, white dire wolf.
Okay. So it's about, at this point, it's about afternoon. You guys feel you're probably about 2.5, 3 hours away from New Hexton. You can stop if you wish, or you can trudge along and get there.
Anybody need a break?
I'm just feeling pooped. I think just keep on keeping on.
That's me running.
I mean, the sooner we get there, the sooner everybody can hopefully, get a bed and get a nice
Okay.
night of sleep.
We're gonna
in
nap.
bed.
We're gonna nap in the vampire town.
Well, if it's daylight when we get there, it should be fine, I would assume.
Okay, so you guys keep going.
Yeah.
You trudge along. What was that, Augustus?
I was just,
Wait, I lost. Wait.
There she is. Okay.
Sorry, it AFK'd me. I don't know.
Yeah, I was doing that to me the other day.
Okay.
Left her own.
So, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys actually see where the grassland sort of ends. You can actually see this township. You start to arrive in town, and their buildings start popping up. The street is actually like there's actually street instead of just a dirt pathway, and it's the street made of. It looks like they dumped gravel like 10 years ago, and they just allowed foot traffic and wagons and things to like pressurize it and pave it. It's like I said, it's about 2 o'clock, and there's a feeling of good humor. It becomes apparent very, very quickly. Everyone seems largely optimistic and happy. The shops and buildings are built exceptionally well. You actually see like less dilapidation than you saw in Evercrest or Waterdeep. Like I said, there's actually like something that resembles paved roadways. There's a wood sidewalk on either side of the street that connects the buildings, almost like you would see in like imagine a Western town, like a Wild West town. And there are decorations everywhere. There are streamers and banners and like autumn vegetables with bales of hay arranged into displays. And you begin to realize very quickly that the people in town are preparing for some kind of festival, if it's not already begun. Like I said, you see festive decorations and strung from rooftops. You can smell roasting and smoking meats. There are children like sprinting around, running away from and running after each other, firing toy weapons. Can I get everyone anyone who wishes to make a perception check?
Sure. What we got? 12.
12, okay.
Before
13.
we went inside, Kess would have turned back into Kess.
Okay, that's good enough.
11.
28.
Natural
Hi,
one.
kids, it's me, your big friendly wolf who definitely won't eat you.
We
For
because we
sure.
get disadvantage if we took exhaustion, right?
Exactly.
That's
Okay,
right.
okay.
Yep.
So yeah, natural one.
Another 12. I got 2 12s.
2 12s.
10.
10. Okay. Most of you notice that there are about 3 times the street lamps, if not more, like what seem to be gas or oil powered street lamps in this town than you've ever seen anywhere. Like even in Waterdeep, which is a town that there's a few people up after dark. This town, you can't really walk 30 feet without seeing a lamppost. It looks like they really want to be able to see at night. You also see, most of you, you notice a mansion on a hill just outside of town that's looming over it. Most of you, like I said, notice that the sun seems to be dimmer there. There's no foliage on the trees around it. You see limbs blowing in the wind, even though you don't feel any wind here in town. But here, everyone seems like the sun is shining. It's crisp almost, which is weird. Having come from the beach, it almost feels like the seasons are changing. And you actually see like in some part, like over the tops of some of the buildings, you see what appears to be like a Ferris wheel and a roller coaster, and some various attraction sort of things.
Augustus loves fair food. Just throwing it out there. It's like his favorite thing.
Does it look safe?
Make a perception. Make a medicine check.
Wait, what are you checking as safe?
See if it looks safe.
No, that wouldn't be a medicine check. That just made me giggle. That would be perception.
Okay, well, I have disadvantage too, but that's still a dirty 20 with disadvantage.
It looks pretty safe. You'd ride it. It looks pretty well put together.
Well, this place looks fun.
I mean, I thought New Hexton was supposed to be dim and dull and scary.
Over there looks pretty scary. Maybe that's old Hexton though. This seems
Yeah.
pretty chill.
It's obviously the better Hexton. I mean, it's the newest Hexton.
It's the newest Hexton.
Hexton 2.0.
So, wait, what were we doing? Oh, yeah, we're looking for vampires or something, right?
Yeah, did we have a contact once we got here?
You did not.
Well, what we need to do is go to the bar, because that's where Zeffy had contacts. Mention her name and see what we can find out.
Do
I'm
we
always down to go to a bar.
Do we smell? You said fair food.
You actually do absolutely smell fair food. Like
Is there-
you smell like smoking meats and roasting vegetables and sweets.
Vegetables at fairs, silly.
Deep fried vegetables.
Deep fry. Yeah.
Deep fried and covered with confectioner sugar.
It's vegetable oil, maybe.
I'm sure there's some corn.
Pickett runs out of
Corn, yeah.
beard. Pickett runs out of Door's beard and onto his head and starts sniffing around because he smells the food.
Okay.
Do we smell garlic?
Yeah, you smell some roasting garlic in there with the vegetables, for sure.
Every time you walk into a house and they're cooking and it smells good, there's garlic involved.
Always.
Hmm.
Always.
That's why you never eat a vampire's meals. It's like it's just gonna be bland.
Yeah.
So we need to go figure out.
What?
I missed it.
I missed it. He's cracking up.
Just the stupidest joke. I think I've ever heard.
That's why it was funny. He was saying, "Blam."
God. Wow.
That was great.
Okay.
So,
So we're going to find
You gotta win
garlic.
me a stuffed bear. What's going on?
I guess we should probably head to wherever we're supposed to be going to meet with the contact, right?
I mean, we don't have a contact.
So,
Hold on. Before anybody goes anywhere, and then I want to take out my 6 vials of holy water, which it's holy water flask, and give everybody 1 vial of holy water.
okay. So y'all can add that to your inventory.
holy water.
So, as you guys walk through town, you see, like I said, you see more people. It seems like they're preparing for a festival. You see 2 people stringing up a banner that says New Hexton Radish Festival. And
Oh yeah. Into this.
Oh my gosh.
and at that point you're walking through town. Everyone seems to be happy. And you get the vibe that tonight there's going to be a party. And that is where we're going to call it tonight's session.
A radish party.
Radishes.
Get down with some radishes.
I was really like when you were describing the dream, Zach, I was like, Pierce is reliving this moment of death over and over again, and Kess is going through what she's going through, and Augustus, his greatest failure, and then Q, you dream about a bad sandwich you once had.
That would have been very perfect for Q.
Your
I
dream
feel
is just the
And Q like wakes up screaming.
singing face over and over again.
Oh my
The
god.
turkey was a little dry.
They corned the beef.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
They cooked the fish in a pot and they ruined it.
I'm sure Q has his own trauma.
Oh, oh. You don't know about Q's drama.
So
He just wears the skull of his dead mother on his head. There's no trauma there.
there's nothing wrong with that boy.
Well, it feels like you dealt with it at that point, right?
Dealing.
Yeah, wearing your mother's skull is like the 6th stage of grief out of Q's 9.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
getting there.
So,
Human baits.
yeah. Oh my God. That took me a minute, but I got it. Thank you all for listening and watching and stuff. Thank you all for joining us for this. Real quick, before we end the session, do we want to do another quick roundtable? Tell everybody where everybody can find everybody.
I'll start real short. Kofi, ko-fi.com/goonbards. Thank you guys who have donated so far. You're minches. I love you all. But also, hire me. Sorry.
I'm Hrothmar. I write at Hrothmar.com and stream over at twitch.com/Hrothmar.
Steve-O?
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/GutterNerds, and this month is Resident Evil month during October, so we're doing Resident Evil stuff.
Generic?
Twitch.tv/generic live to watch me and Jen stream video games, mostly World of Warcraft, and genericlive.com for any of your art needs by yours truly.
Art needs. Lock.
Twitch.tv/Lockness and Hey Lockness on Instagram and Twitter. And follow our SAS accounts. Also
Yes,
on
that's
Twitter.
very important.
Yeah.
The SAS crew.
And use the hashtag.
Use the hashtag Secret Adventure, and you might end up like some characters that we're probably going to meet next week. Or not next week, next session, which, by the way, is going to be October 28th. Oh, I didn't give my twitch.tv/ZakiWack. Y'all don't give a shit. But next
I
session.
give all the shits.
All the shits. Next session is going to be Wednesday, October 28th. So just a couple days before Halloween.
Which is the day that Harley goes in for her treatment. I'll be available because that's morning, and then she's staying overnight. But just, those of you of the religious persuasion and et al, keep her in your mind and thoughts, tots and pairs.
Tots and pairs.
So peak vampire season.
Peak vampire
season.
Peak vamp time. It's the witching hour.
Strongest, which is like, ooh, bold choice.
This little vampire arc is going to extend a little bit beyond Halloween, just so y'all know. But
it being
at least probably you guys might figure it out friggin' next session.
It'll
But
turn into Thanksgiving soon enough. It's fine.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Oh my God. 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh.
Someone write that down.
Thanksgiving.
Man, that's Jimmy Fallon level funny.
Why did that sound like an insult?
I know, it was like, I thought it was an insult, I'm not sure.
I love it.
I need to have deep knowledge on Steve-O's Jimmy Fallon preferences.
Like his hierarchy of comedy, who stands where.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you have to know about somebody to know if they're insulting you or not.
Right.
So yes, thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for telling your friends. We seriously appreciate it. I'm going to be putting the rules for Eel. There's a PDF for the rules of Eel. And I promise once you start playing it, it's a lot easier than the rules make it sound, just like any game in the world. But I'm going to be putting that in Locke's Discord in the SAS channel, the Secret Adventure Society channel. So you can look there and find that PDF and maybe play it on your own and put it in your own game. We don't care.
Discord.com/invite/the-lockness.
Yes.
That for real is what it is. If you guys are not
I'm not laughing at you, we're laughing at Tor.
Oh my gosh. I missed it. Oh, I got it though.
Eel is like, play Eel, everyone.
Oh,
And
man.
just in case anyone here wants to catch up on that, congratulations on 10 sessions, guys.
10
But in case
sessions.
anyone wants to see the previous 9 episodes to catch up, there is the link in chat to our Locke and I did it at the same time. You can see all the previous episodes on YouTube or in the podcast feed. We love you all so much. Thank you. Do you have anything else?
Be safe, wear a mask, go vote!
Goodbye.
Those also, all of those things, please do those.
Go vote. Vote
Go
like something
vote, go
depends on it. Love you guys.
Because it does.
We're gonna raid fish.
Fish.
Yeah.
Give us that fish.
I love you all. Bye.